What up? Welcome in. How we doing? Hello, friends. Hello, hello. If you guys had the day off, I hope that it was a good day off. If you celebrate Memorial Day, I hope that it was a good day. Honoring all of those military members that we know or that we might not know. I hope you guys had an amazing day. Got paid to stay home and go do groceries. Hey, let's go. Hey, that's something. Legend, thank you for the 39 months. Hold on, let me switch over. Hold on. You're stuck at work. Well, stop it. Have you thought about knocking it off? Just a thought. Sucks the double XP ended earlier. I was in the middle of grinding after prestiging. We did have all weekend. It was all weekend. To be fair. This veteran had to work, but got out early. Well, I'm glad you got out early. And we appreciate your service, friend. Anybody, any veterans that we know, whether currently in service or whether you were. We appreciate and love you. Hold on, I can't hear it. I need to turn that up. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to hear. Leo, thank you for the dono, man. Learned so much from you about every game I play because of you. Thanks for stay being yourself and never change. I appreciate you, dude. Kate, thank you for the 17 months. Cyber, thank you for the gifted Withering Witch. Hello, friend. Grinded so much with the double XP. I mean, yesterday we did a 12-hour stream, so I did some it was grinding, but it wasn't like a crazy go at it. Like I could have probably made way more, but it was a casual grind at it. And it was great. And it was great. This weekly is at Point Hope. Oh, great. Can't wait. Hi, Ellis. Hello, friend. Missed getting the double XP for the challenge by one round. Oh, no. I'm a wind turbine tech, so I don't get to play much anymore. The streams help me get my fix. Hey, let's go. Hey, turbine tech is pretty freaking cool. Definitely does not sound like the easiest job in the world. That's for damn sure. That is for sure. Had so much fun with the weekly with friends earlier. Dad laughing quite a bit. Like, oh, you mean like literally? Are you a niche creator? What is a niche creator? Why don't you go ahead and give me an explanation? I made sure to correct your grammar earlier. I got you covered. I got you, boo-boo. Bob Evans is open holiday and I work every single one. Damn. Well, listen, we appreciate you. We appreciate it. Crazy, thank you so much for the sub. Kate, thank you for the 17. Jenny, thank you for the 36. 300 ping slap, thank you for the biddies. Do you know what difficulty you're doing today? I don't know. Maybe nightmare. I don't know. It's hard to say. Well, you don't have to say FlashForce. I know who I am. You tell me. So you're asking me if I'm a certain thing and you can't give me the definition of that thing. Okay. This is a good conversation. It's going really well. I'm glad this back and forth is what I wanted it to be. No, thank you. Hold. Oh, thank you for the dono to St. Jude, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Ray? Welcome in. Officially a grandfather as of yesterday morning. Holy shit. Mr. 420, congrats. Damn. The multiplier's gone. I'm sad. I know. Now we've got to do the normal grinds. Luckily, I'm at like level 70 something. I don't know. Leo, you can just ask me. Don't have to be a dono, dude. When is the next time with followers? Whenever they fix the server stuff. When the server stuff is fixed, then we will do a viewer day. So it's kind of going to be a little dependent on them fixing some stuff. Yeah. Is it the badge drop still? Yes, it is. Yep. It ends basically. This is the last chance because tomorrow morning, for me at least, at like 7 a.m. Eastern, it'll be gone. Yeah. Yeah. It's broken. Yeah. Yeah. There's been a lot of people that have been having issues and have been dropping when they've been playing multiplayer servers. Like I was telling everybody yesterday, I would have done viewer games yesterday, but unfortunately, I was being told by many of people like, hey, you probably want to hold off. Yeah. 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 How many are trying to figure out all the ghost types on Phas? That's awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Panda, thank you for the 11 months. And Knight, thank you for the biddies. We are at over 16,000 raised for St. Jude. You not see it? Wait, what do you mean? I see that right there. Yeah, we know. By Alan Wake. We get it. We understand. Your spirit box has been invisible. Oh, I've had items do that too. Yeah, I just throw the item to the ground and pick it back up, and then I'm usually good to go. Yeah. Hey, Prince, welcome in. Bounty, I'm good, man. I'm doing well. Is this live? No. No, you can go back to sleep. It's okay. Belle, thank you for the biddies. And whoever just got merch, thank you, friend. Okay. Game is on. We are at over 16,000 raised for St. Jude. When we reach 17, we will pop another balloon. Doomslayer, we are doing well, friend. How are you? I'm not having an awesome time with this challenge. Well, let me take a peek. Wait, is my volume down? It should be. Hopefully it is. Yes, it is. What is the weekly? Ah, Paranormal Paparazzi. Point Hope. Great. Awesome. What's up, TB? Carrie, how are you? I am real. I am real. Hopefully you reach the donation goal. Hey, man, hopefully. But if not, I mean, that's a lot of money raised for St. Jude. And I'm damn proud. And I'm grateful for everybody that's been here for it. Yeah. Yucky Point Hope, I know. Kane Platt, thank you for the prime, dude. I'm good. Had a good day with the fam. We were hanging out, doing all the things, took the kids to the pool, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest. Your sister got lucky with this challenge. Well, let's hope that I do. Thanks to all I've learned from you and Midnight City members. This challenge was a breeze. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You like Point Hope. Damn, who hurt you? Damn. FaZe, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate you. No, I did not. Ashley, I did not. No, it's an IOU. I did not. We didn't have a chance. We needed to get more eggs. So I promise it will happen in the next, like soon. Very, very, very soon. I promise. Okay, there we go. There we go. Daughter's birthday is tomorrow, and she really wants to ask you to say happy birthday to her. Her name is Elizabeth. Well, happy birthday, Elizabeth. We're not going to ask age or anything. Yeah. Okay, Leo, I can't catch every single message. There has to be a little bit of understanding there. It can't be like, see, I put a message in there that you missed, but you caught the other ones. There has to be a level of understanding there. You didn't read every single message that popped through. Makes me sick. I tried, damn it. Hope you and the fam are having a good day. We are. Yeah, everyone's good, man. Iz was feeling better today. She was feeling perfectly fine today. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what that was yesterday that got her, but luckily it was a one-day bug. Thank God. So she was doing just fine. Just fine. Should I get back into Phas? If you want to. Yeah. Shut up, Shanna. How dare. I know. Streamer doesn't care about his chat. It's so sad. It's so sad. Remember when he used to? Those were the good old days. Thank you guys for the follows. Mom, thank you for the prime, dude. Thank you. Had one of those one-day bugs. Oh, thank goodness, dude. The last time that she had something like this, it was not a one-day bug. The last time she had something like this, it lasted for like 3 days. So, yeah. Back in their RL days? Right. Oh my God. Hey, Fear, how are you? So we'll start with the weekly, and then from there, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah. All good, Leo. Try my best, man. I try my best. I'm not going to be able to get everything, but I try to get as much as I can within reason. Yeah. If we did nothing but read messages the entire time, if I read every single message, well, then we might as well turn the game off. I can't get sick this week. Ooh, don't do that. Don't do that. I expect you to read my mind. Okay, roger that. But only yours, though. No one else's. Can you call the ghost a bum? Well, that's not very fair. That's not very fair. Hi, Break. How are you? Then it'll be a Chiba stream? Exactly. Yeah. Ice, hello. Haven't played Fast since Subnautica 2 came out. I waited for the game. Oh, that game for years. I have a couple of friends that are Subnautica obsessed, and they were dying for the second one to come out. Don't read my mind. It's scary in there. Hey, Katie. How are you? How's it going? All right. Let me get started everywhere. And then once I do that, then we'll do the weekly. And like I said, we'll see. I might be trying to level up. Yeah. It's girl. Okay. I mean, if you're saying that because I say dude, I call everyone dude. I hope you don't think that is some sort of way of me saying that someone is a male. I call my wife dude. I call my daughter dude. Anyone planning to see the Backrooms movie this weekend? Not this weekend, maybe, but definitely want to see it. Not this weekend, but I definitely want to see it. All right, let me go over here. Yeah, he's a dude, she's a dude. Yeah. We all know that song. Yeah. Universal, absolutely. I'm not your dude, buddy. Any possibility for large maps today? Yeah, I think so. I might not do my multiplier, like my 5 times multiplier that I've been doing with it, but I could do like nightmare runs now that it's not double XP, and I could do some large maps. That wouldn't be a big deal. Juju! Bree, thank you for the 3 months. I was having a rough patch last night. I went back and watched you and Doc videos. Laughed out loud. Thank you. I appreciate you, Juju. Thank you. Are all heartbeats louder? I think that they are. Yes. I'm going to say that I think that they are. It's a 90s thing. Thank you. Thank you, Blondie. See, Blondie gets it. Hey, Nix. Good to see you. All right. I'm too sidetracked. Okay. Let's get these started and then we'll go. Thank y'all for the hype train. I appreciate you, friends. Again, the St. Jude stuff is happening to the end of the month. To the end of the month. We are doing it all the way to the 31st, friends. Lots of time. What would you do if the ghost followed you into the truck? A wave? I don't know. Hopefully you have lower floor ghosties. One of them is going to be at the top. At least one of them. That's borderline guarantee. Hey, Lodge, how are you? What happens at 20K? We celebrate, we scream, we yell, we pop another balloon. Yeah. Hey, what's up, official? Matthew, hello, friend. Good to see you. Was close to no evidence, and the info helped me reach it. Now I have APOC 3 and I have APOC 3, and I'm 2 weeklies away from the completionist. Oh, hell yeah, Rune. Let's go. Big steps, dude. Big steps. I like it. I dig. All right. Are we ready for this? I think so. We'll keep the volume down inside of the game. Well, I mean, I'll turn it back up for now. No, Cosmic, I'm going to save it. We needed to get more eggs, so I couldn't hard boil. I was like, shit, it's a little bit too late for me. We have to go to the store. Yeah. I'm sure No, I appreciate it, Rune. Thank you. I thought 20K was a ranch soda. I tell you what, we reached 20K. I'll do a ranch soda. How about that? Alley Cat, thank you for the 42 months. And Erex, thank you for the prime, dude. Yeah, that's the deal. This. How do we get the badge? You got to watch on Twitch, dude. You got to watch on Twitch. This week's challenge is paranormal paparazzi. You've got cameras, lights, and sound. Find that ghost type. And this is at Point Hope for 5K. Yippee skippy. There's the player settings. There's our ghost settings. There is the contract. And as for the equipment, we are missing EMF, thermo, crucifix, incense, salt, and sanity. Cool. Great. Groovy. Awesome. Let me go back through those settings so we can take a look at them again real fast. And we'll turn the volume back down. That's just for the potential video that's going to go out tomorrow. Ranch soda sounds raunchy. It's pretty awful. It's pretty disgusting. If I could say so myself. Hey, Grim, thank you for the 37-month tier 3. Grim. Splat, thank you for the 33. And Muted, I saw you, friend. Hello. Missing all the good stuff? That's okay. What is our main player settings, though? Okay. Sandy drain speed is 150. Flashlights are on. Go speed, that's fine. We get 3 evidence. I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's going to be the biggest thing. So hopefully we have a damn room that's low. Which is funny because there's no sanity or incense or cruci, right? Ay, caramba. What did I think about the Alan Wake event? I thought the Alan Wake event was awesome. I thought it was great. Loved it. I can't wait to see what they have in mind for their next collab. We have no idea what it's going to be or when it's going to happen, but yeah. Also, we have the monkey paw, which is literally all the way at the top. So if I wanted to, I guess I could always use that as well. Yeah, Marissa, hello. Filled with lead, I'm good. How are you? We're just about to do the weekly at the beloved Point Hope. Yeah, I mean, at least, okay. Silver lining, it's not an event map. I guess that's good. Manifesting the ghost in the bathroom by the front door. Yes, please. Yes, please. And also thank you. All right. Ty, thank you for the dono to St. Jude. Thank you, friend. All 3 of my ghosts were top of the lighthouse. 2 were Gorios and a Cormos. Oh my God. I was not happy. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to be going the same direction. I've got a feeling. Do you think you would add keyboard and mouse? Do you think they would add? Oh, I'm pretty sure they're trying to, TB. If you go to the Trello for Phasmophobia, I'm fairly certain that they are actually trying to do that. Yeah. You should reset to level 1. And how would you presume that I do that? Exactly. Just curious. Hey, Messa, good to see you. Oh my God, it's a coach. Hi, coach. Reset your stats. Duh. Oh, okay. No. You got this? No, I'm good. Thank you, though. Great suggestion. You're too high level. Too high level for what? Do tell. Too high level for what exactly? I'll wait. You're barely prestige 1. That sounds like a skill issue. Do you drink coffee straight? I wish I could. I can't. You kind of stopped playing because of the skill issue thing. It's going to be a Raiju? I would not be upset. Then I would know what the ghost is. Yeah, I'm going to get like Urays. Got you, Dur? Yeah, I did get you, Dur. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. We're just factuals. We're just we just say all the facts, you know. Hey, Tornado. Good to see you. All right, let's do this. We might as well. Laugh if it was a demon. Listen, as long as I know what it is, I don't care what the ghost is. As long as I know what it is, could care less. Definitely a skill issue for me. I feel useless when playing with friends. No, it is not, demon. No, we're just trolling people who think that they're funny. Don't worry about it. You're good. You take your time. You play your game, okay? You play your game. Okay, it's good. It just sounds really quiet in the truck, and I don't know why. Thank you, Juju. I can only imagine who made that. It was you. Hey, TVG, welcome in. Let's go top floor. How dare you? You sick bastards. Red Bull, thank you for the 2-month Prime trade. Thank you for the 3 months of tier 2, dude. Thank you. All right. Well, we got a lot of fun equipment here. It's, you know, it's fine. We don't have an EMF or any of that jazz, but we also don't have a thermo, so that's good. All right, we just got to hope and pray. Or we just get the monkey paw, we trap the damn thing, and we go from there. But I'm hoping we make our way up the lighthouse and it just reveals where it is. That is the hope as of right now. I'm going to bring in video camera to check for ore. We do get 3 evidence, so that's good. Oh, but we also get tier 1 dots. Thank God. I was a little worried for a minute. Oh, we get the tier 2 headgear though. Let's go. Oh, I'm not that upset. That's okay. We'll bring spirit box. Oh, I don't need my flashlight anyway. You know, that's fine. Hey, Tricarius, hello, how are you? Yes, please do a ranch soda. Oh yeah, no worries. If you get me to 20,000 raised for St. Jude, it's a guaranteed ranch soda. So yeah, you do that. You give some money to charity, and I got you, friend. I guess what I should do. Oh, that was me. Oh, son of a biscuit. No power here. Oh my God. Oh, you are lovely. Oh, you are just a gem. It's in the kitchen. Where are you? Are you here? It just threw a Tide Pod. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Are you friendly? Are you near? Are you here? See, I've been the X is showing up, which is basically telling me, hey, I recognize the question, so we're good. But I would like to find the power. Watch, that's going to be higher though. Yes. I'm not going to worry about the monkey paw. No. We're just going to keep going down. Let's get a snack. Ah, sausage. What's it like to be Phasmo? You know that this never happens for me. All right, this is for Doc. I'm going to bring them both to the truck. Did the double XP already end? I'm pretty sure it ended like 2 hours ago. I think so. Nope, you son of a bitch. There we go. Say Bruce. I'll think about it. We like to leave them sometimes, so that way they have friends on the map. Yeah. Yeah. All right, this one, that's for me, and that's for Doc. All right. Oh, I forgot we had a timer as well. I totally didn't even think about that. Does the sound recorder not record the burn crucifix? Not right now. I'm pretty sure it's broke. I'm pretty sure it's borked. Oh, cool. I don't have salt either. That's cute. Yeah, it's borked. Yeah. Tips for the weekly? Play with multiple people. Play with multiple people. Tips for getting started with streaming and making money with it. Do not think about making money with streaming. If you're just getting started streaming, money should be the last thing on your mind. Because if you are money driven to stream, you're going to fail. You should stream because you love to stream, not because you're trying to make money. Phalanges. I'm definitely a firm believer in doing what you love and trying to make money doing it. However, you need to grow your stream before you can try to monetize it. Oh, cool. Oh my God. Thank you, Bakrava. That scared you. It was literally you. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, Banshee, Hantu, Kormos, or Obake. All right. So EMF 5 Obake, dots, we have a Banshee. I can't check for freezing because I don't got it. And I did not have Spirit Box. I don't think it's a Kormos. Banshee, Hantu, Obake. How do I get started? Like, how do you get started streaming? The best, honestly, this sounds like a... I don't want to pass the buck, but one of the best things you can do is go to YouTube and look up tutorials on how to get started. There's a lot of really amazing creators that have tutorials on how to begin, what software to download, and all that stuff. Banshee parabolic. Very true. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have a smudge. I could keep checking for Obake. So look, or I don't have an EMF. However, I do have an activity chart. Coach, I swear. It wasn't even Coach that did it. It was Death Goddess. Poor Coach is never, no, never know. No. Partner was playing the week last night. The only sounds he made were sighs. Oh, your partner? That's fair. It's Point Hope. I understandably probably agree with them. We do love Coach. Coach was playing Phasmo recently. All right, Ghosty's now doing literally nothing. So even when there is either, like, if you have a no evidence weekly or if you do not have an EMF, you can still make out EMF 5 on this chart. Like, you can still recognize that it's EMF 5. Now, if it's a Banshee, if I remember correctly, oh my God. If it's a Banshee, if I remember correctly, on Point Hope, I think it has the ability to stalk to the floor above and below. I believe. I do declare. So what I could do is I could do some motion sensor testing and see if it goes up or down a floor. I could try that because our sanity is perfectly fine. Look at that. Barely anything gone. I did get a kitchen ghost. Look at that. You son of a bitch. After all that work I just did. Debbie, thank you for the 21 months. Thank you guys for the follows. All right. Now, I could also check. Oh, we'll just place you. The only way I can check for UV is if it's hitting windows, really. So if it smacks this window a few more times. Hey, are you here? Hello? Yeah, I could try the parabolic for the Banshee. Okay, you are here. Good. Well, let's go place one up here. And then I'll get the power, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll sit on the floor above. Well, I know I already have UV, but if it's an Obake, I might get lucky and either get a 6-finger handprint or it might touch a window and then not leave UV. Do you know what I mean? Actually, I should turn off. I should turn this off. Hey, Flumper, how are you? Now, I can't hear through the floor with this parabolic. I'm going to need to be on the same floor as the ghost. So, Jesus Christ. Sorry, light source. Yeah. Making it hunt, I could hear the speed change. I mean, I could try to watch it for an Obake shift. Maybe. It's definitely not coming up here right now. It could just be lazy. It could just be lazy. Mongo, thank you for the donation to St. Jude. Appreciate you, friendo. Thank you, thank you. Oh, what's the ghost name? Oh, you're right. God, stupid light. Alan. Banshee's still in play. All three of these ghosts are possible. Now, it did kick the breaker once, which Hantus are famous for dropping the breaker, so we'll see. Yeah, Demon Kitty, if you do exclamation point donate, friend. Yeah. We're not getting dots. Okay. So with these, you I have a feeling if I make this hunt, that it's going to be fast. I just kicked the breaker again. A little suspicious of a Hantu. Just a bit. Hey Momo, good evening. Yeah, GLG. Yeah. I'm doing all the weeklies this time around solo. Now, because I can't get freezing, the best thing I can do if I'm suspicious is just to make it hot. I have no salt, so I can't check for UV prints unless it's knocking on stuff, which there's nothing I can do about that. Okay. Okay. Let's get the monkey paw and make it hunt. I have hiding right here. No, seeing your breath has not been freezing for probably a couple years. Yeah. Okay. There's the third power kick. Okay. Oh, I didn't do this either. Shit. I'm failing. That's okay. There we go. Hantu vibes for sure. All right, we're going up to get the frickin' monkey paw. I wish to trap the ghost. Okay. So in 60 seconds, Ghosty can hunt. The difference between a breaker switched off or an overload of the breaker. For sure. So if you turn on too many switches, you will trip the breaker. And when that happens, one way to know that that happens is because all of the switches will be in the down position. Now, if the ghost trips the breaker without flipping switches, like it turns the breaker off, all of the switches will still be in the same position that they were. So when you turn the breaker back on, the lights that were on before should come back on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and wait for Ghosty to hunt. And once it starts hunting, we listen. Don't really need to see it. I mean, I could kick the breaker and watch it, but I don't want to do that yet. There's the breath. Hi, Grandma. Yep, Hantu. Thank you. Appreciate you. How do we know it's a Hantu? Because of the speed. Because with those three ghosts, there's only one of the ghosts that could be a different speed outside of an average speed, which is 1.7 meters per second. And that's the Hantu. And the Hantu is really fast in low temperatures and slow in high temperatures. And the ghost room is typically going to be colder, so that's why it's faster. Nice. That was a great first run. Okay, let's do it again. Great first one. Come on. Bathroom ghost. Let's go. She just wanted hugs, and I gave her hugs. I mean, to be fair, I gave in. Is today or tomorrow the last day for the drops? It's going to be in less than 12 hours. That's why I say to like last chance, because it's less than 12 hours. Minus X, but what? What do you mean? I'm very confused. Jay, thank you for the 15 months. Danielle, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. No, double XP ended like 2 hours ago. Yeah. Yeah. You hate Point Hope, but you might run the weekly. I thought it said that you got negative 256 XP. No. Such a bummer. I know, but it was all weekend long, to be fair. All right, what do we got this time? Peter West. So now we can say it's not a Banshee or that it's a Giant. Okay. Well, I don't care about the objectives. We just care about the ghosty. So I'm probably going to go in the exact same way that I just did. Does it show where the power is? And I just didn't look last time. Yep, it does. Okay, so our juice is up in the game room. And we can just run literally right there. And we'll be good. Anonymous. Thank you so much for the $10 dono to St. Jude. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Come on, Orbeez. Fuh. I don't know why I looked there. I literally know where the power is. I know where the power is. I know what curse possession it is. There's no need to look. Just want to be in the kitchen again. Hey, Thug, thank you for the 9 months. You subbed in the middle of the game, which means that our baby's name is Peter West. I hope that's okay. Okay. Well, I haven't heard anything yet. So we'll just keep going up. If anything, I'll drop my flashlight and grab the monkey paw on the way back down. Beautiful. Found it. Not a mayor. Where are you?
Taken away.
I bet you were. Ah, we'll leave that off. Found it. Ghosty, turn on a light switch. Mayors can't do that. Hello, child. How's rehearsal? Good, good. Good. Oh, hello. Love you, bud. Owly, thank you for the 13 months. Hi, Mr. Rafa. How are you, sir? I will leave that there. We have a headlamp. We'll be fine. Wait, I don't have a headlamp on, do I? F it. That's fine. We'll go in the dark. Might have forgot it. You missed the old spirit box sounds? They got rid of them because it just was... It was not realistic to how ghost hunters try to actually get responses on spirit boxes, because what happens is the spirit box is actually used to pick up radio signals, and that's the voices you get back, not some creepy voice going behind you. You know what I mean? It'd be cool if that happened once in a while. I would like that, but yeah, that's yeah, no. Is it currently bugged? Nope, it's working for me. Not a problem. All right, let me not forget to do that. We do not have orbs, but we do have spirit box. Okay, that's good. Ghost is building a mountain. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. Now we have a better chance of checking for UV here because we have the door there. Thank God. It's the weekly, Steve. Yeah, it's the weekly. Tis the weekly, friend. Denton, thank you for the 3 months. Mr. Rafa, thank you for gifting to Coach. You mean they don't actually say close? No, they might. Oh, I forgot my headlamp. It's too late. I've come too far. It's too late. I've come too far. A ghost. Nana, thank you. I've gone too far. We'll get it on the way back down. Thank you for trying to remind me, though. Hey, don't forget your headlamp. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's up, River? Had a yokai earlier. It was perfect run. Oh, let's go. I bet you've missed yokai so much. Okay. You don't like that you need to pay to unlock new items now? You don't like that you have to pay to unlock new items? Wait, why not? I mean, it gives you something to work towards. The more games you play, the more money you get, because what else are you going to do? What else are you going to do with the money? I think you forgot the headlamp. Thanks. Here, let's do this. Was that the breaker? Oh, that was too many lights. Hold on. I'm gonna get the flashlight and we're gonna go turn the breaker back on. No, I turned on too many lights. It was my fault. So there's a perfect example of tripping the breaker because you overloaded the breaker. That was a my fault. Buy $10,000 jackets? Well, yeah. See, it wouldn't make sense though. It wouldn't make sense to make them realistic to what a jacket is like now. Because like if a jacket costs you $50, but you're doing an investigation where you're making $2,000, you buy all the cosmetics in one go. That doesn't make sense. Okay. I'm back. Hello? Hey, can you touch Nanor again? I'd like it a lot. Wait, you just touched the door. What door did you just touch? Was that a door? Was that, oh, was that a cabinet? Double fisting flashlights. They're both not flashlights. One's a UV. Oh, oh, I do have UV. Haha, I did smack the door. Well, well, well. Thonka, thonka. Okay. Well, it's going to get a little tricky. It's going to get a little tricky. If it's not going to give me what I need. Phantom, Galu, Polty, Mimic. Okay. Clay, thank you for the 13-month membership, dude. Orianthe, thank you for the Prime. Thank you so much. Would you chill? How's the game? Game's good. Are you a possible poultry? You were throwing a bunch of stuff when I walked in. Here, do you want to... Here. Here, do you want stuff? Good gravy. Turn the lights back on. Oh, you know what I would love to test? Oh, I would love for this ghost to do a Ringy Around the Rosie event. That would be awesome because there's reasons and I could use that to actually determine if it's a phantom. When you watch a phantom event, you lose sanity. If the phantom events and I watch it, I could pull my watch up, watch it. If I'm losing sanity while the event is going on, it's a phantom. All right. I gave you a little Polty pile. Do your thing. GLG, thank you for the Prime, man. You could do the sea shanty. I'm okay with the sea shanty. Remember, Polty, Mimic. Well, I mean, I don't have orbs, but I could check again. God forbid. We've had problems recently with that. No orbs out here, right? Nothing? Okay. Gonna trust you. Can I not? Excuse me? There we go. Didn't know watch did the sanity. Oh yeah. Around the, as long as you have sanity available in the truck, you get a little colored ring that goes around your watch to let you know how much sanity you or any of the players in your team have. All right, you were really throwy when we walked in and now you're not. What do you think is the coolest thing in the last few updates? The map decorations they did for Alan Wake, I think was the coolest thing. That was awesome. And now you're not going to throw nothing. Those really are arthritis hands. Well, when I look at it like this, Eric, when I look at it like that, it definitely doesn't help anything. Phantom, I don't know. I don't know. Galu, Phantom, Polty. Oh, I mean, by watching it, I'll know if it's a Phantom. I could maybe watch it for a Polty if I put some items down. You know what I mean? Here, give me the flashlight. Here, we'll turn that off too. I literally have a Polty pile set up. It's not doing anything. Yeah, I have one. But it's very unreliable. Very unreliable. Oh my God. Can't throw with the lights on. The Polty can if it uses its ability. It certainly can. Well, I think we go get the monkey paw. Lodemir, welcome in. Being very tame. Very tame. What does the monkey paw do? It gives you wishes. Different wishes for different things. Polties are awesome. They definitely can be. Okay. I wish for knowledge. Do some of you guys do that? Do you actually use that to wish for knowledge, like in the middle of the game, not at the end of the game? Is today the last day for double XP? It's already gone. Double XP is already gone. Nope, it's gone. It ended almost 2.5 hours ago. Use it at the end. Okay. I'm in the middle of the map. Using it now would really suck. Not just for me, but for you. It's one thing if I do it to myself, like, okay, that's fine. But I do it and you can't hear or see anything in the game. Fun. Use it in the middle to troll friends. Yeah, but then you troll yourself. Oh, Ghost, come on. Oh, excuse me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God, thank God. I wish to trap the ghost. Too late, I don't care. You know what? I wish for sunrise. And stay out. It threw that in defiance. F that ghost. Ghosty's grounded. Damn right. I could like this. No. What? What the hell? Oh, I still had something in my inventory. Oh, I can't even see it. Look. Oh my God. Are you hunting? Aha, there we go. Okay, here comes Ghosty. Maybe. Because I'm putting it in my armpit. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, you prick. Oh my God, he scared me. I have no idea. I hope I have enough time to do this. Galoo. I got nothing. The blinks look normal to me, and I don't know. It didn't Pulty bomb.
Welcome back. I've got some jobs ready for you.
Hell yeah. It didn't do Pulty bomb. The blinks look normal. I'll take it. Whew, that was close. I almost didn't have enough time to do it. They might need to add a couple seconds to that. All right, last one. Stupid Galoo. I have no protection equipment. What am I supposed to do?
We've arrived. Check the equipment and get set up before
All right, Sandra.
investigating.
All right, Sandra. Where's my juice?
But keep an eye out.
Back up there inside of the game room again. Okay. Same deal. Let's go. Hey, headlamp. I did it. They already added more seconds. I know they did, but they need to add more. Well, the issue is not, maybe it's not even just they need to add more. It's that you have no access to your journal until you're completely dead. Like, well, until you get to like the death, whatever thing. That's the issue. That's the problem. All right, Ghosty. Be good to us. Got to ring the bell. You're right. You're right. I'm not taking any chances. Crazy D, thank you for the 41 months, friend. Wish you could access the journal right when the ghost gets you. Yeah. Agreed. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just because it's part of the animation. I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, it's not an Onryo and it's here? Yep. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Are you close? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Sausage check. All right, we're good. Let's get the power back on, or power on in general. Can mares light candles? Yeah. Onryo's can't. Onryo is the only ghost that cannot do this. All right, let's go back to the truck and get more fun. Onryo's hate candles. They're not fans for sure. That's for sure. Source of light. Yeah, but electronic. It's not like you light a candle, then a mare has the ability to blow out that candle right away. It's an electronic thing. Okay, give me those, give me those, give me those. The timer's still going, but it's about to end, and we're at 99 sanity. Actually, let me check the truck. Just in case orbs decide to make an appearance. Point Hope is a cool map. Love it so much. Even it's frustrating to get a high floor ghosty. I love each floor. Each floor is designed really, really well. It's just the vertical hunting sucks. The vertical hunting is not fun. Nothing. All right, let's go. That might be a 5. Maybe. Okay. If it is, Onryo's off the table anyway. All right, we'll have to remember that. So we'll see. Thank you guys for the follows. Welcome in, friends. Hello, hello. I do like the vertical running away. I find the navigation a little easier. Oh, to get away from the ghost. There's a lot of breaking of line of sight for sure. It's just getting the ghost all the way up top all the time. It's rough. It's rough. Dotskis? 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 Haven't had dots yet. This is gonna be a little tough, but we'll try anyway. UV, nothing yet. Put the book down. Here, actually, let's sit here like this for a minute. So, I didn't see orbs and I didn't see spirit box. I might have seen a 5er. Okay. Hopefully we get something. If it slaps this, I can get UV on that. I can get UV on the window. Probably on the doors. If it decides to start messing with stuff. Not a bad map to play with the group since they can carry equipment, so it's like less tricky. Yo, yeah. The large maps like this, yeah, they're definitely better when you have more people. All right, we see our breath, so Ghosty's definitely chilling. No pun intended. If it's a Goryo, we're not going to see those dots unless I go back to the truck. Yeah, this is the weekly, Matthew. Yeah. Ghost. I turn on the lights so you'd stop throwing stuff and touch something so I can check for UV. Hello. Here, touch these. Touch these. Come on. Come on. Shade a possibility? No. Well, if we have EMF 5, which it's not a guarantee, so I don't know. Ghosty spilled a lot of ketchup. Yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. Snooze those so they don't get hit. Is there an audio when it touches windows that stands out? You'll hear a knock. Yeah, the door touch is not like a knock. The door, you hear it like literally try to open the door. With the window, you hear a window knock, like a double knock almost. I might have to walk away just to see if it does anything. Always thought that was ambience. Not the knocking. If it's freezing, there's nothing I can do. Okay, let's turn those off so it's a little easier to see. Let's see if we get dots. Yeah, I don't have a thermo, so I can't even check. Can't even check. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the truck and watch and see if we maybe get dots. Maybe. Wasted Captain, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome in, friend. Hardest ghost I've dealt with? It's very situational. Oh, you threw my camera because you're a piece of shh. That's okay. It's fine. Whatever. You know what? I'll bring another one my next round up. Anything else I can bring that would be helpful? Motion sensors, maybe. It might be useful. Huh? Any of the new ghosts have forced evidence? No, I don't think so. We're just hoping. I can't even see the writing book right now. Now, I could bring a second writing book in just so that way we can force its hand with either writing in it or throwing it. So we'll see. Anime, hello. Okay, nothing. Sanity's at 96. It's really feeling like it's EMF 5. I don't know what the hell it's doing. Okay, let's go. Well, again, if it is EMF 5, then I need 2 more of these, right? But if it's a Goryo and it's dots, there's nothing I can do except wait in the truck and hopefully it shows. How's the weekly treating you? The first 2 games were great. To be fair, all 3 games, not a single one was at the top. So we're just hoping that Ghosty continues to cooperate. Okay. Anything on the book? Nothing. It's done 0 to the book. I could have brought the other dots too, which I mean, if I have to go back down, I do. Whatever. Okay. So Ghosty's right there. Right. Got my writing books down. We've got UV to check for that. Yeah, I've got both books down now. Hey, Joker. Thank you for the 27 months, dude. Is a blockage? No. So if it does hit something, oh, shade is a possibility. That might be why it's not doing jack. Okay, let's say it is a shade, right? If it's a shade, I need writing. And then miling would be UV, so I need, well, freezing I can't check for. Okay, well, there's going to be some hope to be had here. It's not going to write in that book unless I'm literally away from it. Okay. It's throwing nothing. This is very shady. Very, very shady. Hey, Space, I'm doing well. My favorite new ghost is my new favorite ghost is the Cormos. Nothing like watching it walk down a hallway like a Scooby-Doo character. I like when seeing someone that doesn't know that it is and they're trying to get away from it and it was more like Scooby-Doo. Yeah. 2 possible ghosts. You need to not be in the room for evidence. I know. Very dumb. Okay. Well, here, we'll watch this one here. It's writing in the book. Yeah, there's the writing. Okay. So if it's a shade, I need freezing. If it's a miling, okay, so I would really, really like a UV check. That would be great. So we're gonna go back in and hope that this ghost, I hope it does something to show that. I don't know. Lodge, thank you for the dono, friend. Thank you for the dono to St. Jude. So I'm gonna keep shade marked. If it touches something and doesn't leave UV, then we know for sure it's a shade. Your last ghost was a blood moon? Lucky dog. Lucky dog. You can't trap the ghost in the room, is there? No, I can. Oh, yeah. I can make it hunt. What I need is for Ghosty to like knock on something. It's not going to do anything with me here. Crunch. Or if it blows this firelight while we're here and the Ghosty is still up here, well, then it's not a shade. I think it's a shade, though. Lady Dark, thank you for the 5 months. Miss Phoenix, thank you for the 10. Welcome back, friends. You know what? Maybe I do the knowledge wish now. Maybe I'll get lucky. You never know. It's worth a try at this point. If it's not a shade, then congrats, you duped me. But it's done 0 things with us in the room with it. So if anything, what I could do is I could wish for knowledge and wish to see the ghost, so it rips our face off. That might be the way to do this. You could put I could put 2 to 3 candles in there, but if it's like, if it could be a myling choosing not to blow them out, which is the hard part. But we just make ourselves more confident by putting more firelights in there, and if it's not blowing them out, well, there you go. Look, firelights out, and we weren't in the room when it happened. The room where it happened. Thank y'all for the primes, friends. Nova, hey City, welcome back. Hello. Nova, welcome in. Hello. What do mylings do with the candles? Well, no, they can blow them out when you're in the room with them. Shades can't. That's the big kick here. But this ghosty is being awfully tame while we're here. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll know for sure and it will cross off UV, you know? Maybe. At this point, F it. I wish for knowledge. What the hell is it doing upstairs? You haven't checked, right? Okay. No, it did nothing. Oh, well, why not? It's last ditch effort. We might as well give it a whirl.
Welcome back. There's
Shocker.
jobs ready for you.
This ghost was doing literally 0 while we were in the room, so that's how we knew it was a shade. Yep. Okay. Well, the weekly's done at least, and the 3 up, 3 down point hope, and it wasn't that long. I'll take it. Not too bad. And we have ads. Waiting for ads. Okay. And we will wait here. And I will also get rid of the ambient noise because that is just annoying. There we go. Dez, I'm good. It sounds like TB's having a lot of issues. And if they can't hear me, I can't be helpful. You thought the heartbeat was your game. It's not a matter of being restocked. It's a matter of the application that I use with the lights actually working. The issue is it hasn't been working. So what does the wish for knowledge do exactly? Well, it made the ghost hunt, but it crosses off a piece of evidence. So you could, you can get rid of that evidence. It won't give you that evidence. The ghost won't have that evidence. But obviously you see what happens. The ghost hunts and you lose hearing and also you lose sight. Sugar Cat, thank you for the 6 month. Earth to Me, thank you for the 14. Yeah, Lumia has been a bit of a jerk. I could try to see if it's working again. I could give it a whirl. But it just hasn't been working. That's the big issue. See, this is what I use. Which goes to my favy, the Mimic, for sure. Happy, thank you for the 5 months. Autumn, thank you for the follow. Okay. Let me see. If I go to... Okay. I'm messing with it just to see if I can get it to work. Messing with it a little bit. Again, I don't, TB just keeps saying I can't hear streams, but if you can't hear me, there's literally 0 I can do. It's like I can't hear. Okay. All right. Hey PSU, Maniac, thank you so much for the gifted. Thank you, man. Ads are almost done. Almost finished. Past system says restarting checking speak. Yeah, I turn the volume up. I could learn sign language real fast. I don't know it, but you know, we could try. But they won't ask Google. No. Do it. You won't. I'm not going to be able to learn shit. Why'd I receive a repeated chat message warning? Probably because there was repeated chat messages. Just a guess. Just a wild guess. All right. Ads are done. Welcome back, friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. Kids, thank you so much for the 11 months, dude. All right. I'm messing with Lumia real quick just to see if I can get it working again because it has stopped working for quite some time. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Sarah? Welcome in, friend. How are you? I mean, all of that looks normal. I do not know. I do not know what it is. Give me a second, friends. I'm checking on something. Hold, please. So if I can get this to work, that would be super. Because if not, I'm just going to have to remove the redeem stuff. But I don't want to do that. There might be hope. There might be hope. It is possible there might be hope. Okay, maybe not. Hold on. Press 1 to hold. Get out of here. I'm having to break into, you know, the Da Vinci Code to get this to work. Okay. Twitch extensions. Twitch points. Huh? I mean, that worked. That was just a test button. I mean, that was literally me just hitting it. Are the channel points for changing the color active right now? Or we disable them? We might have disabled them because they were not working. No. Okay. Is it possible that we could re-enable those? I'm curious to see if it'll start working again. Because that seemed to work. I'm like remove my account and do all that shite. But it definitely worked. All right, let's go to Nightmare for now. Any equipment stuff that I can upgrade? Let's see. Firelight, motion sensor, sanity, sound recorder. No, sound recorder, I don't care. Salt, no. Parabolic, absolutely. It worked. Holy hell. It's been broken for like 3 months. And it's actually working. Holy hell. All right. There we go. Upgraded thermo, upgraded paramic. Now we're talking. All colors. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have so much stuff to upgrade. Oh, you mean in the game, coach? Back to the, yeah, there we go. Now people got to wait for the cooldown, but everything works. Right. All right, well, at least we know it's working. All right, let's do a nightmare to start it off at Tangle, and then from there, maybe we'll switch it up and go back and forth. Maybe I'll do some larger maps, some smaller maps. Yeah. Thank you guys for the follows, by the way. Welcome in. Mr. Rainbow. Let's go. Let's go.
Check the equipment and get set up before
Yeah.
investigating. I've got a report that suggests a possible ghost sighting.
All right. Game on. Calling it. It's a Hantu. Okay. We're going to remember if you're wrong. Specifically. Just you. Okay. Andrew White, Firelight, Incense, and 3 videos. Andrew White, you can't be a Banshee. You can't be a Dian. Absolutely not. All right, let's go find our ghost. Let's go. Calling it's not a Hantu. Specifically just not a Hantu. Hi, Norm. All right, first power. Check for cursed possessions on our way. How long is the cooldown? It's a few minutes. That way it's not getting spammed. Yep, just keep your eyes peeled. Check for the channel points every now and then. We have a Ouija board. I sensed it. Okay, ghost is in here. Oh, ghost fart. Thank you. That's delicious. My favorite. Oh, that's right. I'm on Nightmare. I can't see my sanity. News Tanglewood just by the door sound. Yeah, all right. Let's go. Are the cursed positions in the same room as the old maps? It's a little different. Just a little bit. But they make sense, though, if that's helpful in any way. Like, for their locations. Oh, UV. All right, we're speedrunning, apparently. I wasn't aware. Which ones can only be male? No, it's just the ones, there's only ones that could be, like, certain ones have to be female. There are no ghosts that have to be male. Not as of right now. I have a feeling they might change that in the future. All right, well, we know we have UV. We didn't see orbs, which is fine, but that also means that it's not a mimic, thank God. It could be dots, could be a Goryo. Oh, shit. I never took a camera in there. I don't know why I said no orbs. I haven't even checked. Is the Seer badge tied to Alan Wake? It is. It's tied to Alan Wake too. Hantu's still on there. Well, how do I... Oh, how do I break it to you, friend? Oh, you're not even here. Okay. Where's the monkey paw in the new tangle? It's in the garage on top of the bag of dirt or seed or whatever it was in there. Bad fertilizer or something like that. We got orbs. So, because it's nightmare, I can't have a Hantu. Sorry, Steve. Sucks to suck. We have a Kormos or an Obake, so we could just hope that we get an Obake brand. Or, even if we don't get one, then it's a Kormos, then there we go. Give me this. Give me this. Give me that. I never put the crucifix down. Son of a biscuit. Why is this happening to me? Why? Are the pills not working properly now? You missed it by that much. It could be a mimic. This is very true. If I get another piece of evidence, then it's a mimic for sure. Didn't it ghost fart? Oh, you're right. Cormos can't do that. It's either an Obake or a Mimic. Fair play. I totally forgot about that. Man, it's going to be hard for me to remember that. The Cormos cannot do the Ghost Ball event, and it also, the Ghost Mist event, and it can't do the Chase event. Right, it's cold, but it ain't freezing cold, that's for sure. Now, I could try Spirit Box, just to be sure. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near?
In a way.
Oh. Never mind. It's a Mimic. So we have Ultraviolet, we have Spirit Box, and we have Orbs. That's fun. Okay. Okay. Groovy. All right. Got a smudge. God forbid this thing decides to mimic something we don't want it to mimic. I might even bring in a second one. Ay, caramba. Ay, caramba. Watching it work as background noise is pretty top tier to me. That's a weird Hantu. You still in here, Brett? I see my breath. All right, let's do this. Give me this. Oh, oh. I agree. If it mimics a Hantu, that'd be pretty funny. Did that officially record? Yeah, you better. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near?
Far.
Where are you?
Far from there.
There you go. What does that say? Why didn't it record the first one? I don't know. Level 1 and 2 sound recorders are so bad. 1 is not bad. 2 sucks. 1, not bad. 2, yes, bad. Okay. Well, let's see. Oh. Oh, wait, what? Is it not letting me record it? Oh, you piece of trash. Why is 2 bad? Because it gives you no direction as to where the sound's coming from. It sucks. Fire extinguish, ghost orbs. Okay, I've got smudgies on me. Give me this. Just completed the drop. Nice. Just in the nick of time. How old are you? Goodbye. You know what? I didn't even record that anyway. Ouija board's stupid. What? Oh my god. Gotcha, idiot. Sing me a song? Pay me. Why didn't that record? I don't know. It doesn't record the crucifix getting eaten. It doesn't record that. There's a few things that are buggy. Okay, cleanse the ghost, and then we've got the objectives and we've got the ghost. So I'm probably just gonna take it. Hey, you want to come back into your room, hotshot? That was fast. That should have worked. Yes, sir. Groovy. Groovy. That's a ghosty, and that's the objectives. That's what I care about. Didn't know you could record the light bulb burst. Oh, yes, you can. Uh-huh. You having Cormos crossed off instead of circled is stressing me out. Well, it's because I have the mimic circled, because it's a mimic. Yeah. Because it's the reason it doesn't look circled is because I had the evidence checked for what I actually had, which could not be any ghost because the orbs are fake. The orbs for the mimic are not real. There, 1600. Sad. Sag. Cheyenne, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. All right. Do I want to go back to what I was doing and do the custom anyway? I don't know. You do make more money with that one for sure. Or do I stay on Nightmare? I don't know. I'm a torn. I'm Latorn. I have a custom that I was doing for double XP that's no longer double XP. We'll just save that for now. Apply. You vote for custom. I could. Close to 4 a.m. Gotta go to bed. Good night, Joel. Have a good one, man. Appreciate the follows, guys. Welcome in. Hope you're having a good one. This is the last chance for drops. If you guys have not earned it yet, this is the one you can earn. It is not 2 times anymore. No. Nope. Negative, friend. 2 XP ended almost 3 hours ago. Yeah, it's been over. Yep, and the drops will end around like 7 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah. All right, well, let's do the 569 custom anyway and just see how much we get without the double. Let's try. Let's see.
We've arrived.
Dang it, yeah. It was happening all weekend. They put out the promo, they put out the information that said how long it was going to be running and everything. Yeah.
Investigate it, but be careful. We don't know what
Okay.
it's capable of.
Let's go. Marie Jackson, EMF 5. Well, photo of the EMF 5. We need 3 photos and then a firelight blowout. Okay. I always start the same way every single time. Every time. Nice while it lasted. Oh, yeah. I took advantage of it for sure. How was the weekly? Weekly was fine. I got lucky with the weekly in the sense that... Ooh, music box. The Ghosty was not up top for any of my games. So I don't know who was happy with me at Kinetic that left me alone, but it was nice. So the Cormos also can't do the Mist event just like the Oni. That is correct. Hey, Lord Moose, how are you? Okay. Kitchen or living room? Kitchen. Okay. Roger that. Temps are lower here, so it's there. Now, remember, this is my custom, so I'm only going to get 1 evidence. But I do have the ability to see my sanity, which is nice. Let's see if we can quickly get it. Oh, stupid lighter. There. Is it true that the Cormos can kill you through walls? Yeah, because it has like a 1.5 meter range or something, which is a little silly that it can kill you through walls. I'm hoping that they change that. That would be nice. Excuse me. There it is. Is this the one you made where the ghost doesn't change rooms? Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So Ghosty is locked into the kitchen. It can't leave. Well, it can leave, but like it can't change its room. Place that down. Where are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Not entirely convinced it's in the room. All right, and we'll leave that one there. All right, you. Okay, I'm a little more convinced it's in the room. What? Oh, there it is. Why is that off? Oh, there we go. Thanks, friend. Don't mind if I do. All right, no UV. How can you check your time? Your time for what? Exactly. Indeed. Thank you for the 15 months. HG, how was your stream, dude? No freezing. What are you hiding from us, Ghosty? It might be EMF 5, and that might be why I'm not getting it. Oh, I could try Spirit Box again, though. Where's this? Give me this. It has not left. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Ooh, are you actually in there? Oh, no, 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 no. Let me see that. Hold on. No, okay. It was just from the other room. Okay, that's fine. Never mind. All right, let's go to the truck. We'll go to the truck and we'll watch the camera. We might get lucky. I could also bring in the other book and all that jazz, but right now... Well, no, it literally can't provide me writing. Never mind. But I could bring in the other dot if I wanted to. For the drop. Oh, go to twitch.tv/drops. That should give you your time. Or there should be a way to do it from chat. Like you should be able to see something next to chat. I think so. Hey, Sarah. Happy Memorial Day, friend. You're not very active. Give me the motion sensors. We need to track where this stupid face is. You bought the game last night. That's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy it, friend. Oh, there. And there. Ghost be chilling. I know. Well, if it's Goryo dots, I'm screwed because I see dot ghosts give me way more dots than Goryos do. The inventory also shows the percentage. Thank you, Confused. Thank you. Whatever the evidence is, it's hiding it from me. Oh, ho, 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 well. Well, well, well. All right. Let's bring that in there. If you don't be a Goryo. Don't be that guy. Oh, you cut my power off, you piece of trash. And it's a child. I know. It's pretty disgusting. Let's put this right here. Extra coverage. Hello, Mr. Song. How are you, sir? Dream, hello. How are you? We'll watch from here. Got a lot of dots happening over there, so hopefully I am far enough away that if it decides to do it, we'll see. Why is the camera shaking so much? Oh, wait, but that was in person, wasn't it? What I want to know is how the little kids can even reach the power box. Telepathically. Normal dots. Well, damn it. I was hoping that was going to give it away, but I guess not. Possible Banshee. Phantom. Okay. It's not a Wraith. Let's go get photo cameras so we can take a picture of the dots. The best part of this game is waiting. What the hell? The best part of this game is the worst part of this game. What? 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 Put that one there. And we'll put this one here. And we wait. What, you wait to troll your friends? Oh, you just got to do it. Waiting is just useless. You just got to do it. We hear you. Shut up and show the dots. Can't go wrong with an aswang. That's right. Or so they say. Now, like I said, Goryo dots, it shows me... Oh, I see. It would have failed. I know it would have failed. Goryo dots have been showing up once every like 40 minutes. But normal dot ghosts are just going ham. Oh, apparently that was so far away it couldn't get it even though you can literally see it in the photo. That's great. Here, let's get a little closer. Is that close enough, you little bastard? Oh my god, what the hell? There we go. It's not a phantom. Hopefully. It's not a wraith. Hasn't fartballed us. It also hasn't evented on us. Okay, well, it can't be a Dio because we don't have Spirit Box. And that would be forced. This might just take a hunt. We could do a Banshee stalking test. I could go get some salt. Let's try that. The difficulty is a 569 custom that gives me 1 evidence and the ghost can't change its favorite room. Yeah. Hey, what's up, swimmer? Welcome in. How are you? Let's go to the garage. Let's go to the garage. If Ghosty walks in that from all the way over there, then I think there's your sign. It wasn't pathing to you in the dots. Yeah. I don't know how much I trust that though. Love the vid so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Maybe it might not be 1 star anymore, but this crap still applies. Okay. Des, my day is good. How is yours? What do I have on me? I got a smudge. That'll work. So it's vocal. Pretty good. Nice. Might just have to make it hunt. Might be all we can do. How many hours do I have on this? Like 4K-ish. Over like 5 years. Can't wait for the future Prestige 30 video. My God. My God. How hard is the weekly? It really depends on what ghost you get, man. It really depends. Or like what ghost, where the ghost is, all that jazz, because I got pretty lucky with mine. Me too. You are throwing a lot. Ooh, a Thay's a possibility. Ooh, maybe I just make you hunt. You're throwing a lot. You're doing all that. I'm not really near you. Let's get more smudges and let's try. You understood all that the ghost said? Good. You should. It's a learning opportunity. This might be a Thay. You hear this thing? Hey. Oh, well, you're not an Oni. That's nice. That knocks that right off. Did I have Cormos as a possibility as well? Boner Jam. Oh my God. What did the ghost say? Oh, it said... You know. What is my sanity right now? Yeah, we should drain our sanity. Smudge, smudge. See my sanity draining? We want to get below 50. And it's walking. Interesting. That's a normie. That's not a Thay. Not a Raiju, a Bombo. Not an Oni. How do you donate? Exclamation point donate. No Oni? No Oni. Spicy, spicy. I always forget. The Aswang, that one is slow, right? Is it the Aswang that is like 1.5 or something like that? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Good, good, good. If that's true, then it can't be. So we're looking at Banshee, Yokai, or a Yurei. Oh boy. Well. Really curious as to what it is. I don't know if I've ever had the opportunity to see the ghost shake the front door before closing it. That might have been the first time I've ever seen that. You won't do it again. You won't do it. Don't get me wrong. Just because we know it's a Yurei doesn't mean I like this ghost anymore. This ghost still sucks and I hate it. One more time for the road. Hello? I can hear the motion sensors going off, so it's over in the kitchen. What the hell? Talk about timing. Thank God. That saved us so much. Sitting there trying to do a banshee test and all that jazz. We don't have to worry about that at all. Come on, please. Okay. You jerk. Want to do another one? What if I get closer? Maybe it likes when you're closer to the door. No one's home, I guess. Man, I don't get to see this like often anymore at all. I still think that the Yurei ability within the house is still kind of screwed, but thank God it can still interact with the outside doors. Put my toe in there. See my toe? Look at this. Oh, 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 oh. I think we're just going to get the one. I think we're being too selfish. We're being too greedy. All right, we'll take it. Sold. Freaking Yurei, dude. Okay. Time to hit the old Dusty Trail. Been a crazy week. Good night. Good night, Mr. 420. Get shut in, I know. If I tried, I would die. How many abilities did it use? 2. So it did it another time on another door, apparently. Or so they say. Sheesh. What is the multiplier? It is 5.69. 5.69. It is a 1 evidence multiplier. The grace period is 1 second. The evidence is 1. The hiding is low. Fingerprints are 30 seconds. But I do get the activity monitor and the sanity monitor, which is nice. Just before you use the music box, probably. Yep. When I checked the door for UV, maybe. I don't know if that was the one, though. It might have been. Yeah. Okay. To Ridge. Swimmer, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate you. I thought it fully opened it. Well, it's about it shutting it, right? We went down the wrong pipe. I'm okay. I'm fine. We went down the wrong pipe. We're good. Swimmer, thank you for the gifted. Oh my God, it wasn't a sneeze. It wasn't a sneeze. Did a challenge once and was setting equipment at the door. Walked back to the van. When I came back, the door was closed. Oh, it's the greatest feeling. It's so great. Hydrating the lungs. Yeah, there we go. Just a little extra hydration. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Ads are not for 20 minutes, so we're still rocking. Megan White. Cleanse the ghost, photo of the ghost, and repel the ghost. Let's do this. Let's bring the photo camera just in case Ghosty shows up early. It'd be nice to knock it off. Prince B, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back home. We appreciate you. Plague, welcome in. Hello. Hero, hey, how are you? All right, I open the door. You show up for a photo. Gross the cards. What's up, Yuki? What tips do you have for finding a mare? What do you mean for finding a mare? You mean for understanding that the ghost is a mare? If you're trying to get... What the hell? If you're trying to understand if the ghost is a mare or not, one thing you can do is you can try to do the mare ability, where when you flip a light on, the mare will turn it off instantly. But it's an ability that it has to decide to do. Where was that? I heard that. What was that? What? What? what are you touching? It's like, it sounded like it was throwing something, but it kind of wasn't. Ugh. Okay. Let's go get our thermo so we can make sure it's in the kitchen. Currently at a 69 stream streak, AO. Give me thermo, give me crucifix, and give me the video camera. Can it be upstairs? Unfortunately, yes, it can. As of right now, from what I've experienced, it feels like any ghost that has a floor above or below, it could be. $14 degrees. Ooh, it's right here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, but the fingerprints are only gonna last 30 seconds. All sag. Okay, we found it. It's right there in the front. So if this is a Ure, it could shut that door right now. We'll go back and check. What do you think is the hardest ghost to find? It's very situational, but the hardest ghost to find is probably the shade because it does the least. Okay, we're gonna get Salt to check for you, my little friend. I think that's our plan. You're on a 15. Ah. Again, we're being selfish again. Put that in there. We'll turn that light off. That should be helpful. Okay, more stuff. Was that EMF 5? No. It didn't sound like EMF 5 to me. EMF 5 wouldn't be double beeping like that. It would be singles. Give me this. And we'll maybe do a couple of motion sensors. We're at 87. We're rocking. In higher multipliers, I find Jin's rough. Oh, yeah. If you have no power, the Jin is almost impossible. Like no power, no evidence kind of stuff. Yeah, it sucks. All right, let's see if you're... Dodge, 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 dodge. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Mom, get the camera. Shit. Son of a bitch. I tried to grab it. It was right there. I freaking had it. It was in my hands. Oh, damn it. Well, guess what? That was a chasing ghost, so that's not a Cormos. Hey, it turned the light on. It can't be... Wait, where's my UV? Give. Okay. Unless I panic turned that on, but I don't think I did. Thought you were a goner. No, we were okay. Okay, yeah, that's correct. No UV. Groovy. All right. Onward. Hey, Brentley, how are you? Jill, thank you for the follow. Dare, welcome in. Summer. Well, I could bring more of these because why not? We're at 73 with our sanitize. Oh, shit. Gotta make sure we're looking in the right room with the camera. That's helpful. Oh, there goes the book. All right. Well, I mean, we have to make sure it's not a mimic anyway, so we would be checking for all the things. God damn it. Okay. I don't need you. I don't need you. We're going to bring another crucifix in. We'll bring in this. And do you want to try to give us a photo again? That'd be cool. Ay, caramba. Ay, caramba. You think you made a dono? Did you? I think some came through that I did not see. Deval, thank you for the dono, and whoever the anonymous was, thank you, friends. I don't know why I'm not hearing them come through. Here, that's for you. I get this. You shut your lips. All right, Ghostie's right there. 94%, nice. You there. We'll put you over there. Hey, can we do that? Can we try for the photo again, please? I wasn't ready. What's up, JT? Wicked. Thank you for the prime, man. Okay, that's cool and all. Gotcha. Okay, so listen. Listen. No freezing. Try spirit box again. Wait, do I have a spirit box in here? I tried for it, right? Did I? Maybe I didn't. Let's get more stuff. Throw as much in there. Don't think you did? I don't know why I thought I did. Freaking weird. 14, thank you for the 4 months. Speaking of the mimics, have you or any of the regular friends had a mimic do a banshee scream with a male name? So the mimic can, if it is a male ghost, the mimic cannot mimic a banshee or a Dian. Can't. Oh, I threw it on the floor. Son of a bitch. I didn't try. So it could still technically be a mimic. We'll see. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Are you close? Are you near? Are you here? Hey. All right. I don't think we have a mimic. No, I think we legit have one of these ghosts. Which is a lot. I'm not seeing orbs. I'm not seeing ultraviolet. I mean, I'm not seeing ultraviolet or spirit box or freezing. So one of these guys, which means we can remove the Hantu for no freezing, Obake for no ultraviolet. Since those are both forced evidence, we could try to do an Onryo test. It blew out one firelight already. It's not a mare because it turned a light on. Okay. Wait, did that record something? Bastards. Here. There's another one. I can't cross off ghost writing because it's a 1 evidence run. It's hiding evidence. I could cross off writing if I was playing professional with 3 evidence, but because I'm playing on a difficulty where the evidence can be hidden, writing could be hidden. So yes, I can say I don't have to look for this anymore, but it could still be a writing ghost. Okay. Do I have an empty hand this way? I do. We're at like 60 sanity, like 65. This game is confusing. More repetition. I mean, the repetition is how you learn how to play the game. There's 2. The more you play, the more you learn. But it's literally with anything. All right. We're doing an Onryo test. That's what we're doing right now. Still waiting for my forced writing ghost. I'm kind of shocked that they don't have one yet. Ghosty, you can't change favorite rooms. We know you're here. What's the time window for the Onryo test? It's really unlimited as long as it blows out a 3rd candle and you don't have another firelight lit somewhere on the map. But then once it does the 3rd blowout, basically once I get to about 8 or 9 seconds of the 3rd blowout, that typically tells me no Onryo. Unless the only way that it could be would be if the Onryo test is kind of borked, but we think the reason it's borked is because if you light the firelight while it's on the ground, the ability is not working the way it should, I think. That could be wrong though. So now at this point, I mean, I could go away from the ghost and we could see if it's a possible banshee. See if it's maybe gonna try to stalk us. But that means I need a few things to do that. But we're doing 1 by 1. Was there an old glitch where it would only appear under the porch? Oh yeah. Yeah, they fixed it. Give me this. Give me this. I'm at 55 sanity. Yoicks. These are, you look at these pills, these are not pills you chew. Like, can I see them like this? No, you can't. You do not chew those pills. Crunch. Yeah, they're not chewables. Absolutely not. That's diabolical to crunch them like that. All right, we'll lay some salt down. We'll get that down, and I'll bring another motion sensor. Why did they chill them? I mean, why did they chew them? I don't know. They act faster. Oh, that's why. Ah. It all makes sense. Okay. Like that. That. If that bad boy comes all the way over here, I think we have our answer. Now with a Banshee, it's not going to leave an EMF5 at the location, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, let's double check. So I want to make sure I've got these lined up. I want, after my lighter, hold on. After the lighter, I want parabolic, and then I want photo camera, and then I want smudge. All right, so now when I cycle from after the parabolic, it goes right to the camera just in case we need it. There we go. The pills are crayons. What kind of pills do you take that look like crayons? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Isn't out of the realm of possibility. There's a lot of medications you can crunch and they work faster. Yeah, but you just look at the pill. It's not like a... It's definitely not a chew pill. Like, there's no shot. With the coating it has on it, that's not a chew. Gotta be honest, I'm a little sus of a Ure right now. A little bit. It hasn't touched the front door, but I'm just saying. Never said you should, but you can. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you guys for the follows. Welcome in. Hello. Miko! Miko, thank you for the sub. Welcome in. Listen, if they want to put something in those that look like Flintstone vitamins, I'd be a happy camper. Miko, how are you? Thank you for the sub. Definitely not sus of a Banshee, but it's just worth trying anyway. Might as well. Can't swallow pills, so I do actually crunch a lot of pills. Okay, well, that's fair. I know people that struggle to swallow pills in general. Gag reflex and all that jazz. And all that jazz. Okay. If you're a Banshee, you really, really suck at your job. We'll just put it like that. Okay, well, I guess we pull cards. I mean, listen, unless you're a Ure and you want to do the thing, man. Listen, if you're a Ure and you want to do the thing, I'm not going to cry. You know, like, Ghost is literally right there. I'm just saying. Aaron B, thank you for the 25 months. Missouri, thank you for the 28. Thank you so much. I'd rather chew a bottle of baby aspirin than chew one Flintstone vitamin. Oh, come on. It's not that bad. Some of them are good. You just didn't have the right flavor. That's all. Just died to a wraith after an hour because it teleported to me in a closet. Oh, no. While you were holding a crucifix. Oh, snap. Yeah, that ain't good. As long as you had the crucifix in your hand. If the crucifix was on your person, like on your hip or something like that, it doesn't work. I wish it did. Like, I feel like the crucifix on your hip should work. I think the UV cracked on your hip should work. But they don't. What I'm doing right now, I'm giving it a minute just to see if maybe if it's a Ure, it'll do door things, but I don't think it is. Tried Flintstone vitamins with my kids and definitely don't taste like I remember. They're just yuck. See that? Like, my middle child loves them. Or like when, because I did the same thing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them just to see if they would like them. And daily he was asking for his Flintstone vitamin. Now, this is also the same kid that you could pay $5 to probably eat dog food, but you know, he still ate them. Me as an adult, no thank you. Yeah, that's fair. Our palates have definitely changed. think we're going to get that lucky with 2 Yuris in a row? No, I don't, but it's worth a try. Your 9-year-old loves them. See? Look at that. Right there. My 11-year-old does. Maybe implement Cruci on the hip turns tier 2 to 1 use. Oh, ooh, okay. No, I mean, I think it should still work as normal. I think it should still be as active. Maybe they'll think that's too OP, but I don't. You're using up one of your inventory slots to have the Cruci with you instead of using other things. I think that should be fair. Pure sugar with some vitamins. Yeah, that's true. All right, it's not doing it. It ain't doing it. What's my... Don't do it. Don't you do it. Okay. Hey, show up for a ghost photo, please. The ice cream that came in a cardboard box. Oh, yeah, I think you can still get it in a cardboard box. Yeah, like you'd get from like the grocery store. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they still, like, you can still get it like that. It's, you know, not preferred. Where the hell are you going? What the hell? What? Ma'am? The ghost room is here. To be clear. Ghost room, here. Ghosty just decided to go for a roam all the way over here. And like, it looked like it was going, what the hell? It's running away. Oh. Do it. Be a banshee. Be a banshee. Be a banshee. Do it. Oh, come on. It could be an antisocial banshee. My hopes are a little high. What if it was like really delayed on the stalk? Maybe like it decided like, hey, he's over. Oh wait, where'd he go? Got the photo of the ghost. Would you stop it? I said stop it. Come on. Do the thing. That's not the thing. Definitely not what we were talking about. For a second you thought mare. I know, but it turned a light on earlier. That's how we knew it wasn't a mare. Yeah. Banshee scream in 3, 2, 1. One. That wasn't even a scream. It's borderline a belch. She is messing with us. Oh, you're right. I didn't count her down like a rocket ship. 0. I think we're gonna have to pull cards and pray. Ay. What the? Okay. You forget who shapeshifts? The Obake. Like, I'm not giving up hope that this is a really awful banshee. You know? It's probably not, and I could just try to make it hunt. My fear is that I'm going to draw the cards, and the last card is going to be like a sun card, and then I'm literally back to 100 sanity, and there's nothing I can do. She has a sore throat. Well, tell her to hurry up. I don't think they like you. Red, I don't think they like me. I think you're right. I mean, definitely vocal. That's for sure. Never play this game in a while. That's a very interesting sentence. I always play this game sometimes. She's trying, man. Give her a second. Damn, sorry. I am being a little impatient. You're right. I'm sorry. Okay. New idea. New idea. Give me this. Let's take the, if it comes all the way over here, then I'd say that's pretty safe that we have an awful banshee. Actually, wait. Let me put it on the wall. There we go. I'll draw the cards inevitably. I'm going to do it no matter what. But it would just be nice to say, hey, we know exactly what the ghost is. So if this goes off and it's not a banshee and you're telling me this ghost is roaming all the way over to here, the fuh. Hello, Mr. Kill. How are you, sir? Starting to get back into Phas, actually doing better than I thought. I got Hangman 3 out of 3 times. I got the cards. Oh, you lucky dog. You son of a... Wait, don't hit me. No, leave me alone. Oh, that got all the way to me. That might be, oh God. Oh shit. I'm in danger. Will Robinson, I'm in danger. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Okay. That son of a bitch. Oh yeah. Oh, we're back now, huh? Mother. Time for another crunchy candy capsule? No. No, if I can, I want to wait for her to eat the cruci, whether that one or this one, and then I'm going to go upstairs. I think that's the plan. What's up, Flame? What are we doing? Just getting some levels, man. Aha. Hayuken. This. We go upstairs. She's waiting for you to pull cards. I want to figure out the ghost first, and then I'll pull cards. Nope, no hiding. No hiding. Oh, no hiding. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Well, this is how this is going to go. Probably not the best move, but we're going for it. Hey, bro, how are you? Good, bro. Bruh. Which tier incense is better to use? It's whatever you like the most. I've been really becoming a fan of tier 2, even though I use tier 1. I used to use it all the time. Tier 2 I've been really enjoying. These are the ghosties, by the way. Uh-oh. That's a revenant. Eee. Well, that answered that question. I guess it's not a banshee. What a weirdo. What a weirdo. All right, I got all the objectives. We got that. Okay, we're good. Hey, I said we're good. I don't need any more. Oh, damn it. No, not a banshee. It's a Revy. Mr. Wahats. Thank you for the 6 months. What up, homie? Go. She's pissed off because I kept calling her a banshee. I think that's what it is. She wants to come whiff. She's coming in the truck. She's coming whiff. Oh, I didn't pull the cards. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I have ads coming and it was like instinct to try to get the hell out of the house. The next time I see them, I promise I'll pull them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They would have been awful cards anyway. Just pretend they're awful. No ads. Unfortunately, it's just a part of life, man. There's nothing I can do. If you're monetized on Twitch, you have to have ads. But luckily, we are in a situation where I can stop gameplay and sit inside the lobby and do nothing until they're done. So that is what we do here. They were awful. I was one of the... See, there you go. There we go. Yeah. What did Mr. Kill say? Tier 2 is nice because you get the best of both worlds, letting the ghost wander away from the hiding spot while also testing the smudge. Yeah, that's why I've liked it so much, Endless. Remember when revs were scary? Remember before that when demons were scary? Remember before that, Kill? All right, I do 3 minutes of ads every hour, guys. So if you are not subbed, if you don't have turbo, you're not going to miss anything because I always sit in the lobby and wait. So 3 minutes later, we'll be back. We shall return. What is flash post? Wait, what? What is what? What is what days? What? I'm very confused. Oh, Raven, we try. Not everybody plays a game where they can do that. I mean, I can't do that every time either, because if we're playing a multiplayer game, then I can't really do it. But if I can do it like this with solo, then I definitely will. Poor demons had all their powers taken away and given to other ghosts. I know. And now look at them. Thought I was super late. No, you're good. No, you're good. Time is flying though. It is already 10:40. Shit. Think days you stream. Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 and then Sunday at 1. My favorite map is Willow, and I can't wait until they rework it. Can't wait. What's up, Howlands? How are you? Every time you have a demon to spawn kill you, I never have them spawn kill me. What's up, Among? Your ads were only 10 seconds. Why is that? Because that's the only ads you were getting served at that time. Yeah. Yep. It's different for everybody, man. It just depends on what region you live in. I was nervous for Tangle, but seeing how that turned out, I'm excited for Willow. Yeah, same here. Same. Just had a pulte bomb me twice in a row. Okay, way to brag. Draw my standing 0, started the match. Let's go. Hey, that's pretty great, though. When is the next update planned for the game? I don't know. They haven't given us any information about it, so we haven't heard anything about anything coming. How do you get so many viewers when streaming Phasmo? By building content? Post in other places? Build up your viewership? Do it for a really long time? You think the Kinetic is going to redo Willow first or release a new map? Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I would say Willow. I've tried so much. How long have you been streaming? Hey, Val, how are you? Give us a damn carnival map. I know. I know. We can only hope. We can only pray. The only Willow rework they need to do is put the French doors back in the garage. No, they don't. 3 months. But I only get 1 to 2 viewers. Well, you've only been streaming for 3 months. What kind of content do you post outside of Twitch? Give us a Titanic map. I would not be upset. All right, welcome back, friends. Would love a mall map. No, I would love a motel. Not a mall. A mall would be huge. The French doors were the best hiding spot. It was just ridiculous to have that in a garage. It was like a weird townhouse. Fast gameplay and some other game. Yeah, but I mean posting to other platforms outside of Twitch though. Yeah. How long do I plan to stream? We'll see. It's 10:40 right now. We'll go with the flow. I typically will go till like 11:30 p.m. or midnight my time, which right now for me it's 10:44. Do these ads ever end? They are literally not even running anymore. I know that they're very upset about it. I'm Eastern time. That's correct. Yeah. Post YouTube and TikTok at the moment. How often do you post? And barbecue. I was going to barbecue today, but we did not. We did not. My wife made chicken Alfredo from scratch, and it was amazing. Hey, Wangle, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Sounds delish. It was very delish. It was very, very good. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Let's see. Is your name the same on TikTok and YouTube? My Nana made barbecue ribs. Oh my God. Barbecued baked beans, corn, and macaroni salad. Dude, that sounds freaking awesome. Oh shit. That sounds great. Try. Hey, thank you so much for the Prime, friend. Appreciate you. Oh, I love smoke. Oh, ribs are so good. So freaking good. Finally able to sub. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the sub, friend. What's up, Zigpog? I'm good. How are you? Okay, I got drops by. Bye. We'll miss you. Maybe. We'll think about it. Enjoying burgers, hot dogs, and beverages? Fuck yeah. It's that time of year. I know. I really want to get into trying to barbecue some stuff. Like grill a bunch of stuff. It's just finding the recipes and finding the ways to do it right. So we'll get there. We'll get into the games in a second, friend. I'm just waiting for a response. Enjoyed watch for a long time. Always put a smile on my face. Make me have a good day. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Super kind of you to say. Love your Blackstone griddle. I thought about getting one of those. It's different, but the thing is I had to start a new account 2 days ago because it got removed. So, okay. So what is your name on YouTube? Spaghetti and some iced sweet tea. There you go. What's going on? Hey, what's up? We're doing some games. I'm just getting some info real quick before we jump back in. I was trying to help somebody out. You have a Blackstone as well. They're really nice. Dude, I would love to do some like some hibachi, some fried rice. Oh, that'd be so good. Charcoal or propane? Serious question. I mean, I have a gas grill. Yeah, but it's been great. I've done steaks, burgers, hot dogs and stuff. I would love to do way more though. We're just taking a mini break just to look at something. Okay, so you have, let's see, you have one long form video, which is Phasmophobia, and you have let's see, roughly about 10 shorts that are about Rocket League, what looks like Roblox, and what, so you have one Phasmo short, right? One long form about Phas. Is the Phasmo short your short, or is that from somebody else? You made that? Okay. I remember someone else making a video very similar where they did a lot of sporadic jumps at the beginning with the Phasmo screen. I was just curious. Yeah, you just got to post more about it because you've got stuff on here about cars and Roblox and Rocket League and all that jazz. But there's only 10 shorts on here and one long form. You just have to post more. YouTube does not know where to send people that watch your, don't know to send people to you because you haven't posted enough content yet. So the more you post, the better you're going to get. The better that you get, the more views you're going to get on your videos. Yeah. Also, just I don't know. I guess a side tip is somebody that I don't know. I am not a graphic designer in any way, shape, or form. But your video it says about how to get the Nels Diner badge, and the thumbnail for it is literally showing the soda machines and Nels. Yeah, you want the thumbnail to be relative to what the title is, so that way people know what they're clicking into. Just side tip, I guess, from experience that I've had. All right, let's get into it. But yeah. Continue posting. Thumbnail design, now you know nothing about it. I know minimal. I'm not a graphic designer. Okay, let's go to Wheeler Street. Of course, man. More people see it, the more activity, the more people see it. It's a cycle. Yeah. But also beyond that, it's just, again, the more that you post, especially when you find what you're into, the more kinds of those people that will find your channel. No, do not use AI generated thumbnails. No, I would have to agree. I'm not against AI. Let me be clear about that. Like, at least from my standpoint of it, I'm not against AI. I'm definitely against AI replacing like artists and replacing things like that. AI is great for tedious things, for sure. You have beef with AI? Fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. I think proper designers should be used though. Agreed. And my time frame with my stuff is why I do my own stuff. I do everything myself, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to be like, ooh, I want to post this video now and I need to get a thumbnail done. Let me send it off to somebody to get done. And then I have to wait multiple days, come back, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what, man, I'll throw something together myself and figure it out. So that's typically what I do. It's a tool, should never make the final project. Correct. It should be used to help, not to replace. I'm in the same standpoint, for sure. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, I mean, even Photoshop uses AI. Like when you do generative fill, it's using AI. Has its uses, but generative AI is flat out awful and very harmful, especially when it's creating an entire image and it's being used commercially. Like I've seen AI billboards that look like trash. You see AI imagery that, yeah, it looks kind of cool, but again, you know it's AI. Yeah. I don't mind as an aid. Same. Absolutely. I just like them trying to use our skills to work to feed the AI solutions so that anyone can solve things without escalating it to us. But it does free up some time. At the same time, I do love being able to give a prompt and it fill out a change log and things for me, and all I have to do is review and approve. Yeah, that's super, again, tedious work, gone. That AI will actually lie to you. Oh man, I love that guy on TikTok. The guy on TikTok that talks to ChatGPT and he tells it to do things or like say things or whatever it might be, and it's wrong like all the time. I love that. It's so funny. It's awful in college when all your friends use AI rather than thinking for their own. Yeah, but what are they learning? So, I mean, they're doing it to themselves. Sure, they might be able to sneak by with a grade because they're trying to trick their professors into giving them a good grade because they used AI. That's fine. What did they learn? Jack shit. And that's how it's going to be later in life. They're not going to be handed things and they're going to have to work for it. And they'll be like, oh, I can't stand it. I have to do this myself. Yeah. In college, it was great for me because my professor in my European history class, obviously AI was not some booming thing at that point. They went and changed the wiki to say the wrong thing for something that we were doing a report on. And she failed every single person that quoted this thing that she put inside of the wiki, because then she knew that they used a resource that they should not have been using. So great. Absolutely genius. Loved it so much. Teachers have to use AI to detect AI. It's great. I know it's an endless cycle. Jim. Oh, we got a Yim. Important difference between generative AI and other types of AI. The other types of AI can be helpfully useful for generative AI, only steals others' work and spits it back out with no actual understanding, meaning of what it made and why it hit. That's why I hate generative AI with a burning passion. Anyone who pushes for its use. Yeah, very fair. Yeah. Smart teacher. Yeah, it was so good. I loved it so much. Okay, let's do the things. Witness a ghost event, 25% in incense. But yeah, that was our spiel. That's the end. That's the end of our story. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. Jim is probably a Moroi. Hey, don't typecast. Don't typecast our friend Jim. An Atari 2700 beat both ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot in a chess match. Hell yeah. Let's go, Atari. All right, no cards. Thank God. I think if enough people are aware of how bad AI is, it won't be as big of a problem as we're thinking. Yeah. But also just recognizing. I think that's one of the bigger issues. Recognizing what it is and how it's being used. And not thinking like it's... Not looking something up with AI and being like, oh, well, that's the final answer. AI told me so. AI can be wrong. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Always ignore the Google AI response. I don't necessarily ignore it. I just always verify it. Ghosty. Where you at, bro? No, I always verify it. Excuse me, you sick bastard. What did I do to you? Hey. The hell? What the hell? All right, let's go. Well, we found the ghost at least. Take what AI says with a grain of salt and do my own research, as you should. I mean, you should do that with anything. If somebody tells you, hey, did you know that blah, 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 verify it. If you want to take it at face value and say, well, that must be true, that's your choice. But it's always good to verify something, and that doesn't mean you don't trust somebody. It's just always good to verify a source, or to at least have it from multiple sources. Was the Chromos added when the Alan Wake event came out? Yes. Yes, it did. Yes, yes, yes. Humans created AI, for therefore it's not perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I think, especially with all the generative AI stuff when it comes to imagery and videos and all that stuff, it's a novelty. Yes, I know that people use it for really bad things, but for the most part, people use it as a novelty. That just because they're like, ooh, this is okay, dude. Ooh, this is fun. I can make my grandma like riding riding in Mario Kart. I don't know, but it will have its bubble and it will pop, and people are going to be like, okay, I'm done with this. Okay, let's go. Data centers. Oh yeah, they pump a bunch of heat into the ground. Did you hear about that shit? Mm-hmm. Use it when I can't think of a word. I'm not even against the idea of using it to like help you think, like just to help you generate ideas, not give you ideas, but to help your thought process. Like, okay, have you thought about this? Like, okay, and then you start to think about other things. I'm not even against that. Using all the water. Oh yeah, I can't. Oh yeah, we won't get into it. We're not going to dive that deep. We're not going to go that deep into it here. That's definitely not the place for this. But yeah. Yeah. Brainstorm helper. Yeah. Yeah. Now this is still screwed up. The way my ADHD doctor said it, use it to help you think, not think for you. Right. If it removes all your thought process, you can't learn. Yeah. Use it as an aid. Amen. And that's where I ended too. That's basically where I ended. Like, use it as an aid. It should not replace anything in your life. Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Okay, I see my breath, so I'm fairly certain this is the room. Yeah, 2 degrees. Oh, we're getting pretty damn cold, aren't you there, Fred? Aren't you there, bud? You love these cans. What is with the cans, bruh? Oh my god, you're so active. Okay, not... Okay, listen here. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Oh, dots! Oh my god, there's so much happening. I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta run. Mormon Slays, thank you for the $10 dono to St. Jude. Oh my god. I gotta run. This thing's going ham. Ghost is an artist. It overheard us. It said, excuse me, taking my job. God damn. Okay. Is this a Thay? I kind of just want to make it hunt. This thing should be super fast if it's what we think it is. Good lord. My Lanta. Leona, hi friend. I always have the ghost in the basement on this specific map. For me, it's half and half. I don't know. It's kind of back and forth. Okay, let's go get a smudge. I think I'm just going to make it hunt. I think that's the plan. It's making up for the quiet Revy. Ah, Leona, how have your games been? How have the streams been? How's everything going? Event 25 minutes. Well, we've got the double smudge. I guess we could look. Yeah, we could lay salt in. Flintstoning out of here. Yeah. What ghost annoys you the most? Shades and Gorios. Been grinding double XP a bit, but I'm so over it. Yeah, I mean, well, the double XP's over anyway, but I was all day yesterday. I was grinding it too. Now, hear me out though. Banshee in the basement means that it can stalk to the main floor. So, definitely not out of the question. How do you connect to your Faz account? Do exclamation point drops, and then there's a link in there that'll actually tell you how. Oh, I keep forgetting I actually have the tier 3. That's nice. That's delightful. Now, if that thing walks, if it walks in salt and it comes over this way, well, yeah. Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Let's put you here. If the Banshee's on the main floor, can it go to the basement, second floor of the house? No. No. I mean, I guess technically if it's close enough to the stairs, it could. But for the Banshee to stalk a player to another floor, the Banshee has to have its main room either in the basement or in the attic. And because it's in the basement, it's a possibility. I mean, probably not going to happen. Or it's just being lame. But we'll see. Lady, thank you for the follow. Solver the Sin, thank you. Excuse me? Wait a minute. Oh, that's why that just happened. Oh, I did not have an EMF on me. That's a wraith. Oh, you stinky. So the motion sensor didn't go off. The salt did not get stepped in. And all of a sudden my light switch got turned off. I'm like, what the hell? So then it set the motion sensor off and didn't walk in the salt. That's not a Banshee. No, that's a wraith. Wow. Okay. Well, witness a ghost event 25% and cleanse. Intradasting, you sneaky, sneaky snake. Did I even see the curse possession? I don't think I did. If I had an EMF on me, then the EMF would have gone off. But I did not. Oh, hey. So you're not safe anywhere. No, but if I stand on top of this crucifix, way more safe. Oh yeah, way more safe. I'm extra drunk tonight. That's okay. That's okay. You can be drunk. So we can use that to do our things. Witness a ghost event, 25% and cleanse. I mean, I could go sit in the ghosty room and wait for it to event on us. Really, objectives and ghosty are really what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about perfect games right now. We'll pick a day where I worry about it, but usually I don't. Like Tom said, just dirty games. All right, so you're in here doing stuff. Hey, do you want to do an event real quick? Hello? Do you sleep? Yeah, for like 4 or 5 hours a night. Yeah. Ghosty. Jim Smith. Jimothy. Jim. Jim. It's interesting. A lot of people ask that. Like, a lot of people will not just ask, like, what do you think about the update? It'll be like, what do you think about the new animations? Like, what could they do better? Which animation specifically do you think could be better? And what it's like, I'm fairly certain people are coming in here disguised and they're actually Kinetic employees trying to figure out what should be better. I'm convinced. Scale of 1 to 10. How good do you think the new animations are? 5. What do you think could be better? Most of them. It's TK's all. He should be sleepies. He should not be here. I'm convinced. Are you going to do an event or what, you butthole? I don't care. Do the fart ball, whatever you want. Better than before. Yeah, but most people didn't want the animations. Like, the animations were never asked for. That's one of the bigger issues. Like, there was never... I don't recall a single person saying to me in a chat anywhere or that I could see where they said, man, I really wish they would add animations. Okay, you're cool, dude. Real original. The whole choreography with the hands is so unnecessary. It is. If they want to add animations, that's fine. But man, it should have been way faster. Missed the bendy backs. That's inevitable. Hey, ghost fart. I'll take it. Now we're talking. Now we're talking over here. New to the game, any tips? Yeah, don't die. If you die, you don't live. If you don't live, you don't make more money. I hope that helps. We wanted customizations. 1,000,000%. Player customizations? Absolutely. Okay, wait. Did I put the paw over here? Oh, I did. W-tip, maybe GoPro. Let's go. You're very welcome. I wish for sunrise. Oh. It got us lower, but not low enough. I don't know if I can. I could sit in a dark room. I could have done what I should have done was wishing for sanity and then wishing for that, but it's too late. We're here now. Will we ever get an outfit inspired by you other streamers? I don't know about that. I'm not worried about that, at least. I as long as they keep adding stuff, that's all I care about. Yeah. Trap ghost and hide. Yeah, but that's the whole just getting it to hunt thingy, which I mean, I guess I could do. It's probably gonna eat the crucifix anyway. I'm just gonna go down there and smudge it and leave. What was the point of risking it? We know what the ghost is. Male hat, beard, glasses, model covers. At least 4 of us in Midnight Society. This is true. I bring gift. Ka-chow. See? Good enough for me. So you just have to watch. Never heard of it until today. Oh, it's been going on for quite a while. They posted on their socials. All the content creators have been posting on their socials. Lots of other people have. Yeah, you just got to make sure you're following them on X or be in the Discord or any of that jazz. It's all there. F this ghost. We're not dealing with this. Nope. We basically already have Flash in the game. Yeah, I'm not worried about having my own personal stuff in here. If they want to do something like that, then I'm not going to cry. That'd be so cool. But if there's already basically a black hat in here. Yeah. Like, that's all I would ask for. And it's already there. He's already there. Flash, do you know Bush? That sounds like a personal question, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd stay out of my affairs. I'm gonna ask CJ, the devs, if they can do it next time he streams. To do what? Hey, look at that. We got our tier 3 Cruci. Lovely. Flash logo shirt would be pretty sick in game. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Listen, again, it would be really awesome, but I don't need that stuff. If it's there, so cool. If not, whatever, man. I just want the game to work. I just want the game to work properly. That's all I want. That's it. Timeless Dragon. Have a good night, friend. Thank you. Oh, what time is it? 11:10? We're good. We're Gucci. Someone wanted me to do a larger map. Well, let's go do prison. What? Too much, you ask? Do I want to do my custom here at prison or do I want to do something? I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, I probably could. If you throw the smudge in the room, can you set the timer like if you smudge it while it's hunting? As long as you know that you actually cleansed the ghost. Yes. But you have to know for sure that you cleansed it. APOC 3, Leona, you shut your butt. I saw a video of yours. What is the Aswang roulette? Did you watch the video? In a prison mood? Well, no, somebody asked me about large maps and I said that I would. And I haven't done a large map yet. So to be fair, nah, I will now. Do high school? How about shut up song? Let's go to prison with my custom, shall we?
All right, we're here.
No.
Take a
No,
look
we
at
go
the
to prison.
equipment and prepare accordingly.
We go to prison.
Wow, that's toxic.
This is medium. Shut your butt, Jack. This is large. I don't care.
Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left.
I mean, come on. It looks like they left in a hurry, for God's sakes. The illusion of choice. That's right. You thought. Oh, you thought. Ay, caramba. Ay, caramba. Hey, Gamer Mafia, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, man. The largest medium map. I know. This is a large map. You can't convince me it's not. It's just that my payout sucks. Oh, I do think some people are a little over their heads about the update. I see so many people saying to just revert the update, which I think is a bit of an overreaction. Let's not go backwards. Let's continue to move forwards. I would agree with that. I think a lot of people overreacted like crazy. Yes, I think that the update that they initially did was shit. I would agree with you 100%. Nobody is going around saying the update was good. It's just that for some people, the game became unplayable, literally unplayable, because the game keeps crashing and all that. Like, yeah, man, absolutely. If it's destroying your game, what are you supposed to do? You bought a game that you can't play. Like, that sucks. But they're fixing things, thank God, and they're listening to the people. It's just it should have never happened the way that it did. They released the update in the state that it was, and it wasn't ready, nowhere close, and there's no way in hell that they released it thinking this is good to go. So they released it knowing that it wasn't ready, and then are like, okay, well, now we need to fix it. It's like, well, yeah. So Alan Wake should have been delayed to allow time for them to properly release the character customization update. And then everyone would have been happy because everything would have worked properly. But unfortunately, they did a thing that a lot of like veteran players are going to say F you, and new players are like, I can't play, so F you. They have to deal with the backlash. There's a reason that the recent reviews on Steam for them are mixed and not good. It was kind of earned. I mean, they kind of did it to themselves, and everybody knows it. But there's nothing we can do. We can't go back and fix what was done. I mean, we can't go back and change how it initially released. So they just need to fix it. So I think that they're doing a great job at fixing all the things. They just have to keep going. They can't stop. It's good they're fixing things. I like the direction they're heading, but can't praise them for listening to people. Right. When there was a deleted Twitter post that said, deal with it. Yeah, that's a little rough. I love CJ, but yeah, he should not be speaking on behalf of the company, really, ever. Couldn't play as someone that started when the game came out. Oh, couldn't play. Oh, you mean like literally couldn't play? Or you mean like it just, you hated it? They publicly apologized. They're actively working on fixing things, and people need to chill and not beat the dead horse. Right. Exactly. Going over to them and being like, how dare you do this? Like, it was already done. Like, I don't like, if you hate it that much, just don't play the game. Just don't play. But I want to play, then play the game. Yeah. Aspect, thank you for the 7 months. All right. We're not getting lucky with the cams. Whatever, man. We're not going to get lucky. That's fine. Who cares? Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's do there. What's up, Lizzie? Good evening, friend. How are you? Had the glitch where you place down an item like a cursed object or anything else, and the person you're playing with can't see the item? That I don't know. I play a lot of solo. Lots of solo. I can guarantee you there's several million games in the world. I would I would have to agree. I think that there's a few couple games that could occupy time if people are like, this just isn't for me right now. Agreed upon. Let's go to A block. What mode am I on? It's a custom 569. What was that? Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention. Was that above me? It's a custom 569, basically a one evidence. That was ambient? Oh, that didn't sound ambient. What? That sounded like an object getting thrown. Like a little object being tossed. Sag. Do I run to B block? Maybe. Yeah, F it. I can see my sanity, so we know where we are. Good night, Macy. Have a good one. At least the devs are making progress. I mean, how many games are dead and beta on Steam? Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. My favorite map is Willow. I love Willow. Willow's great. It's like the best. Why is it not 6, 7? Because that was last year. God, people still do that? Great. Now we're going to start quoting Vine. The Watch is your favorite? I love the Watch. I think the Watch is a great addition. I would love if they made the Watch have a stopwatch, not just be a match timer. Excuse me. Hello. Yep. We've heard nothing. I think it's upstairs. I could be wrong. Agree about the watch. I think that'd be great. A stopwatch would be really cool. That was ambient. See, this is nice because now I'm not guessing like where my sanity is. I can see where it is. 5, 6, 9. Damn ghost. You. Oh my God, Grim. What the hell's wrong with you? Would you? Excuse me. God damn it. It's literally all the way over here. Is Sunny Meadows larger than prison? It is. Well. Was that away? Yep. So if we're looking in that way, oh my God, are you upstairs A block, you bag of trash? It thinks I'm funny. I didn't say anything. I think it's upstairs in A block. Man, what a butthole. Really? This is the life we're gonna live? Maybe I can hurry up and get over here and put the EMF over there. Maybe it'll give us EMF 5. Now, I heard it on the same floor, which is why I would make it upstairs. Oh, dang it. Ghosty, making more noise? No, nothing? Okay. Found you. Okay. Back to the truck. Just playing on Grafton with... Oh, I should probably keep looking this way, huh? Playing on Grafton with my friend. Was pranking them by shutting the door. Acting like it was hunting, and one of the... Actually started hunting while I was in the house. Well, that's not very nice. Leona Bunny, hello. child laugh in a prison. I don't think it's a child. No, I don't think so. I wish the watch mic would change icon to like red or slash mute. Well, one thing that like Mel, like Epic was bringing up was how when you can't see your watch, you don't know if you're muted or not. So it's like, well, shit. Having the little microphone on the screen was really nice because then she knew if she was muted or not. Would it be funny if I chose purple lights while you already have purple lights, or is that too highbrow for this audience? I'm fairly certain that it would accomplish nothing and it would move past the chat, and then it would be too highbrow for you. Or maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. Anyway, welcome in. Hi. Nothing. Okay. 0. We're at... Ooh, our sanity is kicking, though. Oh, dang it. Let's take some stuff. Does anyone know how to check the watch on consoles? Yes. If you are on Xbox, you need to hold A. If you're on PlayStation, you need to hold X. We need to make sure you have nothing in your hand to be able to see it. Or you can check the journal and you can see it. Or like this, if I'm holding the tier 3 light, I can see it. Yeah. What are the twins? A ghost. Make sure you notice how when you climb up the stairs in the block, you don't hear footsteps in the first square after the stairs. What? What? Anyone who assumes their jokes are too highbrow are never highbrow. Okay, that's good. Let's do this. Let's take that. We'll do a quick check. I don't see orbs anywhere. I'm not even going to bother. There's no footstep sound there. Well, why would they do that? Want to hear a joke? No, thanks. Yeah, we'll bring this. Let's check for temps. Only Leona would find that out. I know. Between her and Justly, they find all the things. Your favorite map. Is it really? Is that true, Leona? Hey, Wicked. I'm good. How are you? Hug the walls like we used to. People always hate my prison. Yes, it's true. What do you love about prison? Like, what about it makes it the favorite? Luna's dead to you. All right, that's a little much. That's a stretch. Do I want that one on? Eh. I don't even know what the lights are like. I don't know which ones are which. All right, that's that. I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that. Not those lights up there. Eh. I'll just leave the first one on so I have line of sight. You didn't know that was a thing? Oh, turning these on to turn the lights on? Yeah. Yeah. It's challenging and hard, and the layout is the most complicated of all the maps. The only thing I dislike are the cell blocks and how unfriendly they are for some ghosts. Yeah, that's a fair point. Very fair. All right, Ghosty. 2 degrees, not freezing temps. Close, but no freezing. Not that I can tell. See no footstep sound. See, why you gotta point that out though? Hold on. So, footy. Does the ghost make sound there? What a thing to notice. It's so eerily quiet. It's so eerily quiet. Ghosty, where the hell are you? Oh, there you are. All right. No UV. Roger that. Liliana plays too much prison, but I guess if it's your favorite map, you're really going to pick up on things. Dead quiet. Absolutely dead quiet. Just tiptoeing in that area. Yeah. Little teepee toes. It'd be weird if it was only that on the A block. Oh, does it also do the same thing for the B block too? Wonder if the Cormos could detect you there? Great question. If you're not making any footstep sounds, is it just an audio bug where you should be making sounds? Your favorite map is Ridgeview because it has a piano. I mean, Edgefield has a piano. Bleasdale has a piano. Okay. Give me this, give me this, give me this. We're at 76. Let's keep our sanity up. Yeah, many a map has a piano. Let's go. Most, don't they? Not, I don't know if I'd say most, but a lot do. You like Jupiter Street. What the hell did you just say? What the hell do you text people that is correcting it to Jupiter? See, this is the only issue with this. It's just back and forth, back and forth. That's really it. It slipped. Jupiter Street's goated. It's out of this world. Now I can think about how quiet that goddamn square is. All right, Ghost. Let's try this. Where are you?
Far.
Well, shit. What's my sanity? Actually, wait. Hold on. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? What the fuck? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? What the fuck? Where are you? God damn it. All right, that's fine. Whatever. Goes as far when he's 5 meters from you. Like what? Maddie, thank you for the raid. How was your stream? All right, I'm going to get to the front. And I'm going to go sit in that front room with the lights on and see what happens. I hope that they rework the high school or make an... Well, I hope that at some point... I don't know. I don't know if they're going to replace high school and prison or if they're going to remove them. I don't know what's going to happen in the long run. But I feel like something that they could do for now to make them more playable would give us restricted versions. Restricted versions of those maps, these maps, would make them more playable. And I think more people would play them. They better not touch your prison. Yeah, but what if they made a restricted version so that your prison is fine, but, you know, it could be played by more people. What I'm checking right now is I'm seeing if my sanity continues to go down. I'm in a room with the lights on. If it continues to go down, we have a Moroi, but, you know, the odds of it are obviously pretty low. I'll think about it. Oh my. Tempted to try prison again? You should. Why not? Is it going down? Is my sanity draining? Is this a Moroi? Squeeze me? Look at it go. So when you get cursed by the Moroi, your passive sanity drains twice as fast. Now, the way you normally stop your passive sanity from draining is you go into a room and you turn the light on. Now, we're in a room with its light on to stop our passive sanity from draining. But if you're cursed by the Moroi, you can't stop it when you're inside the map. It doesn't matter if you're in a lit room or a dark room, your sanity is still going to drain. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, the only way that would be possibly incorrect with this ghost would be if that room is off when it comes to the lights, but I'm not exactly sure. Let's stand in this one. Just to be sure. If we continue to see it drain, then, which I'm pretty sure it is. Does it drain if you go, you son of a bitch. Thank you for the clip. Oh wait, from the YouTube for Leona. Oh, thank you. I'll check it. All right, let's go Moroi. Let's go Moroi and leave. Let's see if that's right. For the memes, but also for the clips. Yeah, my sanity has just been draining away. It's your video that's the funnest to me. Your face is priceless there. Wait, what? Hold on. All right. Let's check, shall we? Moroi. This would be pretty cool. I mean, I probably would have found out from going back to the truck anyway and seeing my sanity, but being able to see it solo inside the map.
Welcome back.
Frickin' Moroi.
That's jobs for you.
That is the first time that I have been able to see it like that. As a solo player, when you can't see your sanity back in the truck, you don't know if you're cursed or not unless your sanity drains and you get hunted early on. But because we have the watch now that shows the sanity and I have the sanity monitor on, I got cursed by the Moroi, went into a room with the lights on, and my sanity kept draining. Moroi. Very cool. Very flippin' cool. That's awesome. I'll have to remember to go back and clip the shit out of that. The watch, what is disabled is the sanity ring. The sanity ring is disabled. So you can't see that. What was I sent? Oh, it's mine. Wait, why do we send me this? Hold on. Why did we send me this? You would have been cursed by the parabolic originally when you heard it. Oh, that's true. Ooh, that's a good point. But in the clip, I can just use the spirit box. Oh, it made her. Oh, because of my face. Oh. Oh, yeah, this clip. Oh, this guy. Oh, yeah. This one. Hold on. It was this one. Are you here? Lying prick. What a lying bastard. Hey, Black Knight, how are you? How's a goodie? That was a goodie. That performed really well. It did. This one performed really, really well. Best clip. I appreciate it. And Spirit Box still not working. Blueberry, I think there's a lot of people it's still not working for. Sitting there like a goofball lying right to my face. I'm in the same room with that ghost, with the object in the room with that ghost. I said, are you here? And that son of a bitch said no. Liars. Fabricators. Oh, we have ads coming up. We're probably going to run them. Oh, yeah, that's one of the older shorts for sure. Now I want a ghost that has a tell in which its response is always a lie. That would be kind of cool. That would be pretty neat to have a ghost that everything you ask it on the Ouija board, it lies to you about. Like where its favorite room is, where the bone is, like all that stuff. That would actually be kind of cool. It could have been twins and the one not in the room answered. No, it couldn't because twins is one ghost. Twins is not two ghosts. How old are you? No. All right. I have ads coming, guys. I'm going to go ahead and run them. I do 3 minutes every hour. So don't worry. You're not going to miss. I'm not going to go anywhere until you're back. So 3 minutes, friends. I thought twins have two ghost rooms. So the way that twins work, I always explain it this way because it was explained to me this way. And it's the easiest way to understand it, in my opinion. Twins is like one ghost that is wearing two hula hoops. One hula hoop has a 3 meter range. It's a 3 meter diameter hula hoop, right? The other hula hoop is 16 meters. 16 meters. That's how far away the twin can be. So you'll have the one where it will hunt the slow speed and the other one where it'll hunt the fast speed. How many pineapples can you fit up your butt? Yeah. Have a jester ghost that moves things, including your equipment. Oh, that'd be cool. That would be pretty neat. Or like teleport your equipment to different spots around the map. Yeah. Potts, thank you for the 13-month prime. Also from Leona. What is this? Hold on. What does Leona do? Would you?
Boop. Ah, boop. Ah, boop. Ah, boop. Ah.
Boop.
Boop. Ah, boop. Ah, boop.
I love that it spawned in your
Boop.
face. That's so good.
Ah.
It said you're going to touch my light switch? Absolutely not.
No way, paid actor.
It's a rate that teleported to her too. Oh, that's classy. That's good. That's good. Oh my God. Boop. Such a pleasant boop followed by a death. Lay off my light switch. If I wanted it to happen, I could make it happen. Oh my God. I couldn't make it happen. It's so funny. There are definitely certain moments in the game that you can't replicate the timing. You can try over and over and over again, but you're going to lose your mind. Oh my God. Have you seen Jason's coming to DBD? I did. Oh, I don't care about DBD that much, but I have friends that play DBD, so I'll watch them play. Yeah. I can't wait to see if they add a map. That'd be cool. Yeah, the perfect timing moments when they happen are, but you can't make it happen. Holdovers 2 is the best game if you want a whole bunch of moments about timing. Hey, there you go. Like the clip when you were talking about the new update and the legs were at a 90-degree angle. Like, you can't make it up. It's just, they happen when they happen, and you just have to go with it and roll with the punches. You assume one thing, and then immediately you're contradicted. Right. And that's why it's always good to put your thoughts out while they're happening. Talk about what you're doing. You need to narrate what's happening because you never know what's going to happen, especially in a game like this. So it could absolutely create a moment that you were not expecting it to create. So you just got to let it happen. Leona, thank you for the 9 months, by the way, friend. Can't be arsed with ads. Well, listen. You can be if you want to be. I can run ads if you want. Actually, no, I can't. Shit. I need to remake the ad scene. I'm on a new computer. I'm on a new computer. I can't do that. Oh, let's see. What's up, Robbie? Makes the flashlight invisible when using the tier 1 photo camera, and the flashlight still works and the ghost doesn't detect it. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. It is 11:40, friends, and I think that might be our time. That might be our time for the night. Let us wind down. I'm going to end things over on the tubes and the keek, and then we're going to go find somewhere to go say hi to so I can get some sleeps. Yeah, but stick around and we'll go raid. I appreciate you, friends. Let's go find a friendo. Now, I had a really funny bug happen to me when I was playing with Doc, where he was dead. He was dead, and I was able to see his flashlight. So that was interesting. I turned his flashlight on, and while he was dead, and I could see him walking around the map. Yeah, weird. I don't know. Remember this one when you died outside of the map? Hold on. I heard no sound. Fools. Oh. Why is the quality set to poo-poo? Fools. Oh. Well, this is 3 years ago. Jesus. Hear how fast it is? What? Sons of bitches. The curiosity got the best of me. I had to see. I scooched forward. Hey, at least I got the ghost right, though. You know? At least I got the ghost right. No, we didn't do the wheel. I can do that now, though. Yeah, let me go back to this. It'll just be a black screen and we'll do the wheel. You're right. Okay, so I can't just be sitting here just playing clip after clip after clip. I remember that exact moment. Welcome in, friend. Yeah, I'm assuming that clip is the bug where the handprint was super massive on the tent at the old Maple. I presume the massive fingerprints. Yep. There's a lot of good oldies, man. I need to do like a compilation. I really do. Or I need to pay someone to do a compilation. All right, let's spin it. Got the drop. Let's go, Autumn. Hell yeah. When was that glitch with Doc? We were at Camp Woodwind. Gifted Moich. But don't mind if we do. I can go back to this while we pull up the merch. Gifted Moich. Old Tangle too, like super old Tangle with the old layout. Man. Hides. I don't make compilation videos. Kill, don't lie to us. Kill, don't you lie to me. We know the truth, Mr. Kill. We know you. You decide you can stay awake 10 more minutes? Well, that's perfect timing because we are going to give away a merch shirt. That's what we're going to do. Why is it hot as shit in my room? Oh, I also changed this, by the way, because this was originally going to be for you guys to choose a cosplay for me. But because we're doing it with the St. Jude, I changed this to another 12-hour. So if we reach that, we're doing another 12-hour stream. I thought like doing 2 like chat chooses cosplays. Nah, we'll add another 12. Don't make me pull out the old Flashy Ross clips. Hey, I was a great painter. How dare you? How dare you? Give me a second, friends. We're doing the merch giveaway. I'm just trying to set it up. There we go. Got the drop earlier today. Nice. Just in the nick of time, man. It's still going on for probably another 7 hours, if I had to guess. All right. Hold. It'll show up in chat when it's ready, which it should happen pretty quickly. And there it is. There it is. Exclamation point enter. This time we are going to do the shirt that has the design on the full front of it. Again, same thing. You guys can choose whatever color you want, whatever size you want, all that jazz. It's all there. It's all there, but I love it. Absolutely love it. The 90s Nightmare shirt. Love it. Oh, yeah, the new shirt. Yeah. He's there. He's there. It's live. Occasionally thought about making a video from the clips, but you're too good an editor. I'd never be happy. I'd be good enough for you. Listen, don't you dare, Mr. Kill. Don't you effing dare say that. Curse 90s shirt. Indeed, friend. Indeed. Love the Nickelodeon or I had to make it. I had to include it. Post some of those old clips channel. Oh, yes. If you have the links for it, do you want to post them in there? Yes, please. Because I'll go back and look at them too. Yes. Let's go. And enjoy the freaking merch, friend. Enjoy. Make sure you do exclamation point redeem if you can't see it. Exclamation point redeem if you can't see the redeem link. It'll bring it back up again for you. But hell yeah, GG's. Enjoy the merch, friend. Let's go. Enjoy. Okay. Almost at the sub goal. I know. We're getting there, dude. How many more streams do we have left in the month? Also, the St. Jude is on the move, which is the bigger part of it. We have Wednesday, we have Friday, and we have Sunday. So 3 more. We got 3 more. Would you ever ghost hunt in real life? I did when I was younger. I've never really done it. In my later adult years, if you will. The extended goal is 12-hour stream. 12. Yeah. Would you do a 12-hour dressed as Granny? That's dedication. A full 12-hour Granny stream would be a lot of dedication. We have an old asylum here in West Virginia. Let's go. When I did fire alarm protection stuff back in the day, one of the places, I don't remember the name, but it was like apparently like it had on its property the second or third most haunted asylum in the United States. And I can't remember the name of it. I was up at a family's cabin for Memorial Day weekend. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. Story Raiders, thank you for the 3-month prime. I'm good, dude. I'm doing well. Hope you're good. Yeah, we weren't allowed to go inside of it, the haunted spot, because it was full of freaking asbestos. Do a map. No. Okay. Let's pull that up. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. You know, my cousin found an old Victorian house. When we approached it, we see a woman in white looking. Oh, get the hell out of here, dude. That would be some creepy shit. Creepy shit. Now listen. I know we messed them up the last time that we visited. So we're gonna try. I think we're gonna try a round 2 fight. We have an abandoned school here that they let people take tour of because it's haunted. Ooh. Okay. Friends, if you're not in the Discord already, the Discord link is in chat. The rest of the socials are there as well. All the things, they're all there. If you're not following all the Midnight Society peeps, make sure you do. But let's go see the stuffs and the things. Balloon pop? No, we have to hit 17K to do the balloon pop. Yeah. Every $1,000 for St. Jude, we would do a balloon pop. Yeah. So the next time we hit 1,000, we'll do it. So we're on the way. Yeah, yeah. All right. If you're a follower, that's for you. If you're a sub, that's for you. Creepy tier 3, that's for you. Let us go say hi to the lovely Aegis and Pred. We were there before and there was issues they had. So we're going to try this again. Okay. We're going to try this again and hopefully things don't crash. We're going to give it a shot. But guys, thank you so much for the amazing stream. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all of the subs. Thank you for the donations to St. Jude. You guys have been absolutely amazing, man. Thank you so much. Gee, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate you guys. But let's go. I appreciate you guys. I will see you on Wednesday for who knows what, because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But it should be fun. Okay, bye-bye.